Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to a Thursday night edition of Drinking Bros, kids. I got no screens up here, by the way. Delco, they're both off over here, so what are we doing, brother?
Just
there it is.
It's the intro. It's a full screen for you. I'm sorry.
Is it really?
I'm giving you the full experience.
We couldn't see it on our end, by the way.
Because the intro goes black out.
Who's this Mexican?
Who is this Mexican? Kidding. It's Eva Longoria. Is that right?
Yes, that is her.
Okay. I almost said Evan, you know?
Maybe she's going to transition.
She's thinking about it.
She did the Flamin' Hot movie. Huge hit. Huge hit. My kids loved it. Song was nominated for an Oscar. A lot of tears in that movie. A lot of heartbreak.
Fears.
Tears for Fears in that movie.
And then queers.
Yeah, exactly. Who do we got with us here?
Bill Thompson.
Yeah, Bill. You piece of shit.
Spartan Forge.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, hey, Bill, we're good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen, Bill. And then we got this shit going on tonight. Look, we're going live because we don't know what's going to happen. We haven't seen Kamala Harris talk to the media in, 28 days?
28 days.
Yeah.
28 days?
I mean, that's like zombie number, right?
It is, 28 days later.
Coincidentally, that is the amount of time you need to be in detox for.
Is it really?
I think so.
No shit. So how do you think this is going to go tonight?
For not well.
Tremors,
Yeah.
DTs.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of weird shit going on tonight, but we're here. Look, the VP last night, to the window, to the walls, gave a 15-minute, 27-second speech.
Till men cut off their balls.
Yep. And then we got, a half hour tonight, Bill?
You didn't like that?
It was fine.
It's
not great. I'm not going to praise him.
He yes-anded your idea.
I'm not going to praise him.
Well.
Yeah.
I thought I liked it.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, hopefully you'll get better. We'll see.
We'll try.
As the night goes on.
Yeah,
but
you have a couple of those road sodas. You'll fucking feel better.
8%, dude.
30 minutes, yeah. 30 minutes is
8%.
what I give it
What does
tonight.
it taste like?
Freedom.
Sure does.
Green apple I'm having right now, and it tastes like freedom in a can.
Does it taste like a Jolly Rancher, by any chance?
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like.
Weird. But she's looked the same since 2001. This is from Desperate Housewives.
Hotter than a $2 pistol.
You said it, not me. I'm
think she's
happily
pretty good
married,
looking.
so I can't do that.
Yeah, but she's Mexican. They don't count.
Mexican, I believe.
It doesn't
right?
count.
She speaks great English.
It's like if you're in a different zip code, or is it area code?
It's
Probably
zip
area
code.
code. Zip
Oh,
code's too
area code.
small.
Okay.
And if she's a different race, it doesn't count.
Do you remember when Joe Biden tried to grab her tit on stage?
Oh, yeah.
She dodged it?
Yeah, they fucking deleted our post on Instagram and flagged our account for it.
Yeah.
Or no, on YouTube, I mean.
No, YouTube, they just killed it, so you can't even search it. It got 7.2 million views in less than 12 hours, and then boom, that was gone. We never saw it again. I think she's here because she's just happy that it's not Joe, and she's like, all right, nobody's going to grab my tit tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, she's lucky I'm not there.
All right. There's supposed to be some big surprises, by the way. Adam Kingsinger, turn it up. Fucking piece of shit.
Excuse me. Sorry, man. I've got this real
You're
bad
kidding
cold
me.
lately.
Look at
that,
him.
Look at that fucking midget.
Turn this up.
Member of the Lollipop Guild. You know that.
He looks like a grown-up Cabbage Patch Kid.
You stayed at my fucking house.
Kinzinger, and I am proud to be in the trenches with you as part of this sometimes awkward alliance that we have to defend truth, defend democracy, and decency.
Madam
I
Kingsinger.
was
We don't have a
just
democracy,
a
so
kid
that's fine.
when I
Yeah.
was drawn to the party of Ronald Reagan, to his vision of a strong America, the shining city on a hill. I was a Republican.
Look
for
at how-
12 years
look at
in
how his
Congress,
shoulders
and I still
are
hold on
shaped.
to the label. I never
See how
thought I'd
the
be here,
shapes?
but listen,
Yeah.
you never thought
Delco,
you'd
put the
see
camera on
me
yourself.
Here, did you?
Minimize this. I want to be able to see it.
I've learned something about the Democratic Party.
What are you guys fucking
And
taking
I
a break
want
back
to
there?
let my
Smoke break.
fellow Republicans
There you
in
go.
on the
That's
secret.
real
on-
shoulders on Delco.
put it
right
on
there.
yourself.
Democrats
Myself,
are as
dude.
patriotic as us.
Do you see how there's a hump in most men's shoulders.
Yeah.
You see how his goes straight down like this? Like there's no testosterone in this man's body.
Madam Kingsinger.
Madam, yeah.
Look at this little fucker.
Fucking little bitch.
My God, dude. My God. By the way, it's about 108 degrees tonight in Texas.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about Texas, the fact that it's 9 o'clock and it's 97 fucking degrees outside.
To defend
fucking
American
sweating.
God damn
values
it.
at home
Nuts.
and abroad as
Absolutely
we
nuts.
conservatives have ever been.
You're not
Boy,
a conservative.
You're not a conservative, Adam, you
I
piece of
was
shit.
relieved to discover that because I've learned something about my party too.
Oh, yeah?
Something I couldn't ignore.
I mean, just a
The
straight up
Republican
fucking
Party
traitor.
is no longer conservative.
What?
It has switched its allegiance from the principles that gave it purpose to a man whose only purpose is himself. Donald Trump
Oh,
is a
Mexican.
I got a drink.
pretending
Every time they
to
say his
be
name, I got a
strong.
drink. Or
Yeah.
Venn diagram.
You'll be dead.
You'll be
man.
dead by the end of the show drinking those.
Here's a small man pretending to be big.
Well, he's 6'1".
6'3". I was eye to eye
He's a
with him.
faithless
I was eye to
man
eye, I swear to God.
Pretending to be righteous.
I was shocked. I mean, he does have small
He's a
hands in real life,
perpetrator
but
who can't
he, when I shook his hand, it was jarring. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
He puts on.
I don't have big hands,
He puts on
and they were
quite a
smaller
show,
than
but
mine.
there
I was
is
like,
no
okay, but he was
real
6'3".
strength there.
Adam Kinzinger in real
As a
life,
conservative
5'2",
and a veteran,
5'3".
I believe
He's
true
probably like
strength lies
5'7".
in
Come on.
defending the vulnerable.
He had heels on.
It's in
at
protecting
dinner.
your
That's
family.
possible, yeah.
It's in standing
Who leaves
up
their
for our
sport coat at
Constitution
somebody's house,
and
too?
our
It's like,
democracy.
bro.
That is the soul of being a conservative.
I mean,
it
he-
used to be the soul
it almost-
of being a Republican.
Begs the question,
But
why
Donald
isn't he
Trump
putting shoulder
has
pads in his
suffocated
blazers?
the
Because he
soul
has
of
no
the
shoulders.
Republican
He's
Party.
built like a fucking woman.
It's strange.
It's a weird look. Ooh.
Maxine
God.
Waters.
Damn.
This fundamental weakness
All
has
yacked
passed
up.
through my party like an illness, sapping our strength, softening our spine.
$50 from Derek Bell
whipping us
checking in.
into
It's been a
fever
hot
that
minute.
has
We love you, Derek
untethered
Bell.
us from our
Appreciate it.
values.
Yeah,
Look at
tune
Adam
in on
Kinzinger.
Monday at 2
Democracy was
p.m.,
framed
by
by
the
the
way.
events
Derek
of
Wolf
January
is going to
6th.
be on the show.
Sure is.
Derek
Donald
Wolf.
Trump's
Derek, that
deceit
piece
and
of shit.
The
dishonor.
best, dude.
Yeah, he's a
NFL
goddamn,
show.
he's a giant man.
That
He is
day,
insanely
I
large.
stood witness to a
It's
profound
upsetting when I
sorrow.
see him. You know how like some people are afraid of large things like a large building or a whale or something? When I see Derek, it like
Tarnished
fucking,
by a man
it's like,
too
why are you
fragile,
big?
Why are you that
too
big,
Yeah,
vain,
dude?
cut that
and
shit
too
out,
Quit being
dude.
that big.
Go
to
stand
accept
like 20
defeat.
feet away so you look smaller.
He also made me work out with him. I was in Denver and did a
How
podcast
can a
with him.
party
That's a
claim to be
mistake.
And he-
patriotic
yeah, fuck,
if
dude,
it
I was-
That's why I
idolizes
always-
for like a
tried
week
to
afterwards.
overthrow
Tim
the
Kennedy is
election?
always like, oh, you come into the 6 a.m. workout? I'm like,
Nope.
Tim,
How can a
if you see
party
me at 6 a.m. in
claim
your
to
life,
stand
it'll be
for
because I'm
liberty
still
if
awake
it
from the night
sees a
prior.
That's
fight
it.
for
Son of a
freedom
bitch.
and
Or
Don't
I've
ask
come to
anymore.
kill you.
Yeah, that's it.
pitting tyranny against democracy. A
I made that
challenge
mistake
to
too, working out with
everything
him.
Our nation
Oh, my
claims to
God.
be.
Like I'm a fat
It retreats.
40-year-old.
Yeah.
It
What am I doing?
equivocates. It nominates a man who is
Speaking of
weirdly
fat 40-year-olds.
obsessed
So,
with Putin.
hang on,
It's
real
weird he
quick.
says nominates because their candidate
his
didn't even
running
get
mate-
nominated.
No,
His
and you're also
running
at
mate
10:15
said,
on the East
"I don't
Coast.
care what
And
happens
Adam
to Ukraine."
Kinzinger is on this list?
Yeah, because
right
they-
before the president,
Yeah, he wants
like,
to be vice
what could be the president of the
They're
United States?
trying
Freudian
to,
slip.
How can
they're
a
trying to
party
talk
claim be conservative when
to,
it tarnishes the gifts
they think that
our
Republicans are
forebears
mad
fought for?
at Trump.
Men like my
It's like, no, people are mad at their
who
bank
served in
account.
World
That's it.
War II,
Yeah.
who believed in a cause bigger than himself, and he risked his life.
We're mad at that
for it
800,000
behind
jobs
enemy
that just
lines.
figured
Oh
out that
my
they
God,
fucked
dude.
up on
Preserve
too.
American
I mean, that-
18, but who's
democracy.
counting?
His generation
818,000.
found the courage to face
There's,
down armies.
I wonder what the total
Listen,
amount of
all we're
revisions are
asked to
from
do
this
is
year.
to summon the courage to
Because
stand
there have
up
been
to
2 other
one
months where it's 200,000 or more.
weak man.
So that's at least 1 million.
So all of this, by the way, Kinzinger, is all about Trump, nothing about policy.
There's
No-
not been a
nobody
thing
said
about
anything
what they're
about
going to do.
policy, yeah.
Some have questioned why I've taken the stand I
Oh, is he
have.
going to cry?
The answer is really simple.
Some
ladies and
question
gentlemen.
why I'm taking this
We
stand.
must put country first.
Yeah, by letting 20 million illegal immigrants in and creating
tonight-
40-year high record inflation.
Tonight,
then paying
as
for
a
everyone else's
Republican
wars.
speaking
Yeah.
before you,
Could you
I'm
have a more
putting
punchable
our
face?
country first.
No. No, his eyes are too close together. What is
Him
that?
and Uma Thurman need to have a child. That child would have the
Because the
perfectly
fact is,
spaced
I don't
eyeballs.
belong here.
What is this? This is.
His mom drank while he was in the womb. That's why his eyeballs look like that.
I thought fetal alcohol syndrome was where they're too far apart. Incest is too close together.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
Bob, can you look that up?
All three in service to our
Fetal alcohol syndrome?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought it was when you slept with your cousin.
I think that's when they're too close together. And then fetal alcohol syndrome is like crocodile eyes, where they're on the side of your
small
head.
eyes.
Small eyes.
And a shorter distance between them, an upturned nose or a flat bridge
That's
nose.
associated with what?
A thin upper lip.
To my fellow
That's him.
Republicans, if you still pledge allegiance
We've
to
diagnosed
those
it.
principles, I suspect you belong here too.
Let's look up and see who Adam Kinziger's
Because-
parents are.
Oh, God.
Who? What? His
Just
parents?
listening to this is fucking
Because
nuts to me.
democracy knows no party.
Does he have a John Travolta
It's a-
chin in between his
It's
eyeballs?
a living, breathing
Yes.
Do you see
ideal
that?
Yeah.
defines us as a nation.
He's got the, what do you
It's
call it, the cleft
bedrock
chin?
that separates us from tyranny.
It's what football players
And when
have
that
sometimes.
foundation
But
is
he's not a
fractured,
football player.
We must
He's a
all
football.
stand together, united, to strengthen it.
I can't find a picture of his mom.
If you want to stay sober tonight, Bill,
You think
by the
those
way,
principles
every
That's
time
not
I talk
happening.
about policy,
Then I urge you,
take
Yeah.
a drink.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We won't talk about it once tonight.
vote for our bedrock
Venn diagrams
values
is my,
and vote for Kamala Harris. God bless you.
I gotta drink half of a hard AF seltzer if Venn diagrams get brought up. Because she just learned that word. I don't know
Yep.
if anybody's caught on to this with Kamala, but when she learns a new word,
I said
she'll
this.
use it for like 3 weeks.
I said this a month
Policy
ago. It's like
advocate and
when Mike
sister of the
Tyson got
Vice
out of prison
President,
and he did all that
Kamala
school in
Harris.
prison, and he just started using vocabulary words all the time.
I just want to fade away into Bolivia.
Just completely,
what?
completely out of context.
What? Yeah, you're like, what?
My
the
defenses
fuck?
are impregnable. Like, all right, cool, man.
You
That's,
can't impregnate me, motherfucker. And it's like, what? Wait, what?
that's more Nate Diaz, I think. Who's this?
No,
bitch?
Nate, you got to really slur it. It's just, give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker. What the fuck?
Sister of Kamala Harris.
Oh, who fucking cares?
Kamala
it's-
Harris?
why? Because she looks blacker than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, she
The
is.
fuck out of here.
So the beauty of this,
Man,
I
they
swear
really
to God,
blacked
this is
her
what I
up.
learned last night. This is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. You know what her mom's name is?
Rahaknad or some shit?
Shamala.
Shamalama ding dong.
Shamala Harris, and then you name your daughter Kamala. Shamala and Kamala.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, that
dude.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you see the
I like
lady
it.
read the poetry yesterday?
Oh boy, you're gonna fucking
the DNC?
Bill. You're gonna stir up some shit in me. Okay. So
let's
she was
go.
a child.
Yeah.
At the last time she did it, and then she came out last night, and I had to hear that fucking bullshit. Now she's an adult, so I can make fun of her, and I don't fucking care.
Well,
but-
she was a cunt back then, too, and she's a dumb one. She walks into the goddamn United Center in Chicago. We're standing on hallowed ground. You said
Hallowed.
You said hallowed and not hallowed. Fair enough.
This room
I
has
would
been
have made that
hollowed out.
mistake, though.
That-
I would have made that mistake.
Certainly.
I'll give her that.
No, I'm not. Calling the United Center hallowed ground in the first place
Well,
is
Michael
problematic.
Jordan
no,
used to play there, you know?
no, she's not. I don't think she's even.
No,
close.
Rod the
Blackhawks.
Bod used to play there.
The Blackhawks. I mean, you know,
There's
no
been
legends.
Nine championships won in that building.
Not
No.
one motherfucker in the history of the world has called the United Center hallowed ground or thought of it as such.
Not any sports arena is not hologram. Maybe Lambeau, maybe
Yeah, I'd give it that.
Soldier Field back in the day.
Soldier Field back.
Not anymore. Not
not
anymore.
anymore.
obviously.
Dick
I don't
buckets
like. I don't
days.
like Soldier Field in real life. But
No, it sucks. But back in the
I hate
Fenway. I like.
Wrigley.
Wrigley. Wrigley's always Wrigley.
Fenway.
Dude. Wrigley's great.
Yankee Stadium still. I still
Love Yankee
I
Stadium.
still
Even the
like-
new one's great.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the new one.
that's about it.
We've never been at Truist Park. We've been rained out every time, or I've been in a coma. Never gotten to go see the Braves play down there. A true story, Bill. Who's your team?
I go to Orioles games with my daughter, unfortunately, because it's the closest one, and I don't really like baseball all that much. But
But you guys are
yeah,
good.
the Orioles are dope
yeah,
now. So.
I mean,
good.
she's loving this year. But football, it's the Colts.
Okay. Die Hard.
I was a lot more diehard than I am now.
I mean, they're going to come back. Richardson is a good
Well,
quarterback, I think.
yeah, dude. Since you brought it up, we're doing fantasy football on Drinking Bros Sports tomorrow at 2 p.m. Sign-ups. Anthony Richardson is going first in a lot of fucking drafts for QBs this year.
I
so-
still have my Fear the Neard shirt. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He fucking broke my
I
heart.
don't know if I would take Richardson first. You should take. You mean for quarterbacks or first
Quarterback.
overall?
No, quarterback.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey has the highest
He's going one in every draft.
He should be. If you have one and you don't take him, you're an idiot.
QB is. If you, by the way, if you're at home and you're saying, "Why the fuck are you guys talking about fantasy football QBs?" Because we're bringing up Kamala's family on stage. 10-20 on the East Coast.
All they did.
This is prime time.
And her sister's talking. Yes.
I want to see a photo of this woman from 2 weeks ago and see what her hair looks like. Did she have a red dot on her forehead and her hair was up in a bun? Because they really blacked her up for this.
It looks like she got a tan.
How funny would it be if she came out and just started talking all hood and shit? We from the streets, motherfucker.
Actually, turn it up. Let's hear her voice. Let's see this. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, thank you. Come again.
Because Kamala understands.
She talks like a white girl.
We have so much more in common.
Yeah, because her parents were too fucking
in the valley. Yeah.
Educated. They were. Her mom was a fucking scientist and her dad was a goddamn professor.
Obviously, you've seen the Kamala talking about collard greens.
God.
And how she fucking, she's like Robert Downey Jr. I was a saucier back in the
San Antone.
cooking up them.
Oh, you better believe it.
And so as I look out at today,
What do you mean? What do you mean, you people?
What a stupid bitch.
I so wish that mommy could be here.
So at home, by the way, the big surprise tonight is either supposed to be George W. Bush, Beyonce, or Taylor Swift.
They already announced it.
He's on the bingo card?
Okay, so
Bush has, the Bush camp denied. They were like, no, we're not.
I was going to say, that would be fucking crazy.
I think Beyonce.
Don Lemon was the one who broke that story today.
I think Beyonce is going to perform. I think after Kamala.
Don Lemon broke a story?
Well, he's
a reporter now?
Yeah, so he's going out doing street gonzo shit. No lie. He's got a microphone with like DL on it, and he's trying to do street gonzo shit, and it's like, we already got that, bro. We already got it.
He's here. I saw him tonight.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Is he blacked out or is he there?
He said he was hurting.
A leader who fights
Sure
for
was.
every one of us.
Every
Our
one of
Democratic
us.
nominee, my big sister, the next president
Well, I mean,
of the
who
United
exactly has
States,
Kamala Harris fought for?
Harris.
Certainly, she fought to keep black dudes in prison and on death row.
Right.
Yep.
She fought for Willie Brown's cock.
Oh, hard.
I don't know that
Fought
there
hard
was
for
a
that.
big line for that.
You'd be surprised. In California, dude, if you want to get ahead,
You get some head.
got to.
Or give some head.
Be one of the two. One of the two.
Please
How Gavin-
welcome North
pray tell, it's
Carolina
how I-
Governor Roy Cooper.
Oh, I hate fucking Roy Cooper.
Oh, my God.
God damn it, I hate this son of a bitch.
This is the greatest hits list of people you hate.
Get him out of here. Oh, God, I hate Roy Cooper so much. Not that the other governor before him was bad, because I still love North Carolina, obviously. I fucking hate Roy Cooper.
Caleb Newberry says Kamala is Schrodinger's candidate. Does she work at 7-Eleven or does she rob 7-Eleven?
Wow.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's awesome.
We don't.
I do.
We don't. Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we
we
do.
do.
We do.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty good racism right there. Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations on your racism.
It's wrong, and I don't encourage it, but
I like it.
But
it's pretty funny.
what the fuck is Roy Cooper gonna say, dude?
Homeowners. Hundreds of thousands were losing their homes to illegal foreclosure.
What about illegal
I was
immigrants?
Attorney General in North Carolina, while Kamala had just become California's. All the AGs were
Again,
opposed
you
to a
got the
settlement with
sister,
big banks.
because Big Gretch was earlier.
was a
Swap
pretty
out
good
Big
deal.
Gretch for this guy.
Would have meant
I don't really
$4
get
billion
this.
for
Nobody but
families who'd been
us in
ripped
North
off.
Carolina knows who the fuck Roy
I know that
Cooper is.
sounds
I
like
don't.
a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember
But
it being
Kamala
this
said,
disjointed on the RNC
"Hang on a
side,
minute.
where they just ran out one,
I've
boom,
met
boom,
these
boom.
families.
There was like 5 or 10 minutes of
I
music
know
between
what
every
they've
person.
been through.
They didn't run out 40
There
or
was a
50
house
different
band.
people.
There was a house band, yeah.
This is really bizarre the way they set
She
this up.
went toe-to-toe
Johnny
with some
Bertone
of the
says
world's
there's
most
more testosterone in my
powerful
sock than that entire
She
stadium right
refused to
now.
give
Goddamn right there is, Johnny.
That
I've seen
sock,
his sock.
that sock can probably stand
That
on
crusty
its own.
sock.
Yeah.
But
That
she
sock doesn't
knew
need help
it was
standing
a
up.
risk worth
And I bet he used that sock right before he donated that $5.
That's Kamala. And we all know
Roy
what happened.
fucking Cooper, dude. This
The
piece of
banks
shit.
caved.
Yeah, he was a big
That
lockdown
$4
guy.
billion
God damn
for
it,
California
he was the
families
worst.
became
So is Wall
Remember
Street.
that? And they were, you and I were supposed to drive with these fucking passes
That
in our
was
car
the
to go to work.
first time
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I was
Holy
like, no, I'm not
shit.
doing
I
that.
was
You
like,
pull me over and
no,
try to
no.
start some shit, we're going to get into a fucking fight.
Yeah.
was a leader.
One in and one out of the
Does
grocery store down there?
exactly what
Because
she
we were in
said
Wilmington,
she's
Bill.
going to do.
I'm sorry. I was
No,
trying
you're
to listen to this
blacked
son
out,
of a
dude.
bitch.
You were
No, I'm
fucking
trying to
blacked
figure
out.
out what this guy's talking
America,
about.
We got a lot of big fights ahead of us.
What are they,
We
Roy?
got to put
And we've
men
got
and women's
one
bathrooms
hell of a
now.
fighter
Right now,
ready
boy.
to take them on.
If your son doesn't have access to tampons, what kind of country is this?
I know
Ray
that.
Guerrero, $5.
I know
Ultimate
that.
test for Kamala's black
Because
card.
I know
Can she
her.
say the N-word tonight?
And tonight,
That would probably make me vote for it.
Didn't you post about that? Didn't you?
Yeah,
say
it was.
along those
I think it
lines?
was Adam Carolla who posted it the first time.
It was. Yeah.
It was like, if you want, here's how we can decide if Kamala's black or not. Have her say the N-word, and then black people get to decide.
Exactly.
Okay. We're not involved in it.
Because over the summer, black people made their decision on Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Wasn't Drake. Wasn't Drake on that one.
I feel like it would go over like a fart in church. I don't think they would.
It depends on the church.
It sure does.
This used to be a Pentecostal church, like a snake
Where we're at
handler.
right now?
A snake handler.
You're sitting.
Yeah, look, that's the fucking.
You're sitting where the podium used to be. Swear to God.
Yeah.
This is where it was. And it was facing outwards.
That is so cool.
We had to get the pews out of here, all that shit.
Yeah, we had to burn
You should have
sage.
kept a pew,
I didn't know what to do with that pew.
like a waiting room.
Yeah, no thank you. Nailed it.
Kamala's ready. Kamala's ready.
I'm going to say something, and maybe you guys are going to shit all over me.
Okay.
Is this the older flavor?
Yes.
What's that?
The newer ones are so much better.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm drinking the older one, which I've drank the shit out of them, and I just like, now that I've had the new one, I want to.
These are all new, so technology's changed, and so do we, luckily.
Tyler from Archery Country.
It's been fun.
Can you get me a
been
new?
a fun
can you give me one of the
transition,
new
dude.
ones?
Yeah, there's two. There's two in that fucking refrigerator.
They're
Two
just so
cases.
much
You're not,
better.
if you're not always innovating, I think you
die.
Yeah, well, and you're just doing your product a disservice. So it's like, it was a new piece of technology that came out. And we were like, hey, can we infuse this and this? And they were like, I think so. So we sat in this lab in, ironically, North Carolina, where this dipshit's from, and did it for about 9 hours. And
it's so
God
much
damn,
better.
Yeah, thanks, man. We worked pretty hard.
Nunnally says if her dad never came back, she's black. So ... I've got I can improve on your joke, but just a little bit.
Okay.
If you love your dad, let him go, and if he comes back, he's not black. Right?
Oh,
just to combine that with the old poem about.
You're welcome, Bill. Welcome
whatever.
to the show tonight. Okay.
Oh, here comes Tyler. My boy Tyler here from Archery Country.
Tyler from
Look at
Archery
this.
Country hooked me up with a dope fucking Matthews bow a couple months
To
ago.
kill things with.
Yeah.
To murder with, yeah.
And we were supposed to kill things tomorrow, and then he big timed me.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to go to Nashville.
He's gonna.
I'm going.
Yeah, he's going.
Yeah.
He's
I
on
know.
a flight tomorrow. Yeah.
I know, but he big timed me.
How did I big time you?
Because you're like,
you've been here for
hey,
days.
I'll go hunting with you, Bill, because you're a cool, swell guy. And then I was like, hey, I've set this all up. We're ready to go. And he's like, actually, I'm going to Nashville. Fuck you.
Glow Mama just gave us $20. No explanation. I will say this, in Dan's defense, the amount of people that ask him to go hunting with him on a fucking daily basis is nuts. If he did it, there would be no shows.
Well, we're just gonna do it some other time.
I'm just
It's not
fucking
a
with
big
him.
deal.
Yeah.
Don't.
But I am fucking with him. I assume something important is happening in Nashville.
There's always important
There's always
stuff.
something important going
You know
on in
what
the
I mean?
world, okay?
You have no idea.
Right now we got
what's
the
going on.
DNC going on right now, Bill.
Yeah, but
And
Morris
this is important.
Morris gave us $10. We don't know what for because he didn't put his
Tell
thing
us
in.
Tim
why.
Morris? Is it Tim Morris? He's going to be at the tailgate
I
next
don't
Thursday night.
think so.
University
It
of
looks-
Illinois.
Looks like a younger man.
God, I want to go to Creed.
Creed's going to be
still
great on
killing
9/11.
me.
We'll be there. We'll be
So
there
he-
9/11 in Dallas.
This fucking guy can't figure it out. Morris, 2112. He gave us $10. Oh, here we go. Cheers, fellas. Looking forward to Illinois. So maybe that is Tim. I can't fucking. It's too small on the screen. Hang on.
Okay. I'll
can
read
blow it
off where we are at the tailgate.
Oh yeah, that is Tim.
All right,
Never
so the
mind.
tailgate next Thursday night, we're going to get cranked up at 4 p.m. Tailgate will be at Orange Grove outside Memorial Stadium. Our tailgate spot is space number 87 there. It's one of those fancy things where it's set up pre-planned, like if they're doing it for us. And
They're
everything,
giving
so
us.
it's nice.
I mean, I don't want to call them slaves.
But they are.
Yeah.
But they are.
But they're people that we own.
And
so.
we've already tipped them and everything, so
Yeah.
they'll be there. So join us. We're there, and you get free tickets to the game. You can come and rage with us in the game. 16-ounce hard AF seltzer. Orange is the new flavor there.
It's also
And
the
we're gonna
new
get
black.
fucking wasted. Yeah, it is the new black.
Oh yeah, it's 16. It tastes like orange Fanta. What are they running now? What is this?
Oh, this
Like-
is great. DJ Davies gave us $5 and said, "Can we get a street gonzo at the inauguration?" Holy fucking shit!
yeah.
We're already. I talked to him about it today. We're sending him to the Marine Corps ball,
Yeah, November,
which is going to be a fucking
It'll be
shit
fucking
show.
Are you going to send him with like a smoke show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you do that? Okay.
Yeah,
good,
do
good,
it.
good.
Please do it.
Good.
Yeah, it'll be. We'll hire a prostitute or something.
Matthew Chapes or
C-Hapes.
C-Hapes says, "Will Tim Walls get a cup chair in the Naval Observatory?"
You know he will. You're the one from Minnesota, asshole.
Yeah.
Future ex-stepdad. Oxy for Gary to counter the meth. Life is about balance.
By the way, they
I
prefer
wish they could
women
just
of the
put
night.
it through the screen. Just oxys through the screen. You know, when are we getting there? That would be great.
A 3D printer for drugs.
God, that'd be awesome.
Can you imagine that? Like, you know what I'd really like right now is a fucking a line of cocaine, man. And it's just like
The cocaine?
and it's just a line of cocaine right there.
Bill, do you need some?
I mean, I've never done
It's a long night.
You should.
There's plenty
I feel
around.
like I would die.
Nah, not at first.
I'm already fucking hyped. Like, I have too much energy as it is. If I did cocaine,
It would probably calm you
I'd
down.
pick a fight with someone I shouldn't pick a fight with, and then I would die.
Okay.
I don't know. D. Kenyon, can you send Ryan Mills to East Tennessee to get Hard AF back in my local liquor stores?
Yeah, well, actually, so we're making a ton of new hires there,
Yeah.
and with Tennessee in particular, we're putting a sales rep there. So Ryan will be training that guy, and then yes, we'll be back in all the stores. Here's what happened with Tennessee, and we have this meeting next week. We sold out of like 200 stores, I think, in like the first 72 hours, and then you got to restock them over and over and over again. You need your own sales rep in these states, is what we've learned. So we're hiring massively over here. We've hired 12 people for Hard AF Seltzer in the past 2 weeks, and then 2 more coming up soon. So, yeah, we'll be out there, and I think everything will be dialed in after that. But when you're growing very, very quickly and it sells out, if you don't have somebody just literally knocking on the door, holy shit.
They have to understand velocity, too. Like, stuff gets sold out quick. They have to know, like, to have it in the distributor's office in the first place, they got to understand how quickly it's going out.
And the honest answer is most of these people and distributors don't understand podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, Dan and I have to sit on these calls and be like, so wait, what? Is it like radio and then you're telling them to go to the stores and everything?
Here's
it's like,
how it
that's
is.
why it's sold out? And it's like, dude.
Here's how it is. We did a fundraiser and raised $1.4 million in 2 days. That's how it is. So
That's how it is.
Put the fucking booze on the shelf.
And with that,
stop asking me questions.
We've hired like a million people, and we're going to hire 1 million more, so it's fun, but shit, that's what it is. So, like, people still don't get podcasts. So when we go to these states, talk to the distributors, they're like, oh, man, it's so weird. I just sold out in like 1 weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, I know.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
weird how people buy things.
It's a delicious treat.
She's coming out.
Is she coming out now? No way. Who introed her?
She's early.
Well, she had to. It's 10:30 East Coast.
Is this reverse CP time?
Maybe. Holy shit, I'm shocked. Okay. So at least we get a time code. They're playing a Beyonce song, Bob.
Oh, maybe she wants to intro Beyonce and then
Come on.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
The could-be president would intro Beyonce and not vice versa? Or does Beyonce do the closeout song?
I mean, who's more
and the
famous?
balloons go down?
What's a Veep to a queen?
It's true.
Count Cacula.
Cocula. Sarah Verardo's watching, so watch your fucking.
She just texted me.
Watch your language, you piece of
Can't
shit.
wait for U of L. Me too, Michael Hammond. We're looking forward to it.
The real question is Danica watching?
She's murdered. She's out there murdering.
Johnny
She's out
Barrett's
there.
says she's definitely not black because she wasn't 30 minutes late. Yeah, she's early right now.
Danica girl.
Fucking with this hoe's man.
Betting Bro says the guy with the beer can hog who was pounding in the Senate should speak. I respect that guy. Oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah. The gay dude.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Kingser?
All right, so you're looking at
the one
9.
that fucked that dude in the butt of the Senate chamber. What?
Oh, there's a fucking weird-ass daughter. 9:32. So we'll start the timer now and see how long this speech is.
Venn diagrams. I have to drink this whole thing if she says Venn diagram.
Okay, deal.
Just chug it. You want to chug it, just do it.
$100
so
for
good, dude.
$100 from Brian Cox. Gary, you piece of shit. Rosie, marry me. I don't know who Rosie is, but I hope you do get married for $100.
Rosie Palms.
I hope there's a whole lot of her.
JT, the bow was lift. Matthew's lift. It's very nice. I like it a lot.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Biggest coup in American history.
Aborted the democratic process to put her up.
She did it, though. I'll give her fucking props for that.
Yeah.
She pushed them all out
It's
of the way.
a gangster move, isn't
Sure
it?
is.
Okay.
I'll give her
Thank
props
you
for that
all.
one.
Okay. Thank you.
What is Willie Brown doing right now? That's my question.
Kip Knuth.
He's dead, right?
Early like an Indian, Kim
He's
Sullivan
dead?
says.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I hope so.
Here we go.
Thank
look
you,
now.
everyone.
Wait,
Thank you,
29-14.
everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's get to business. Let's get to business. All right.
No, he's alive.
So let me start
Still out there getting his dick
by
sucked at 90.
thanking my most incredible husband, Doug.
What up, White Doug?
Yeah, and Doug, didn't he like sleep with
White
his
Devil?
Didn't he sleep
He
with
knocked
like
up the
his
nanny.
Nanny and
He
then
knocked up the nanny and then they aborted the baby.
Yeah.
And happy anniversary, Dougie.
I think it was actually Hulk Hogan that aborted the baby. Leg drop.
I love
tell you
you
what,
so
brother.
very much.
He didn't give that baby any
To
vitamins.
our president,
didn't
Joe
say any
Biden.
prayers.
So our President Joe Biden is not there.
When I think about the path that we have traveled
It's like somebody
together,
talking to their
Joe,
kids
I
at
am
an award
filled
show.
with
Like, I know you guys are
gratitude.
asleep.
Your record is extraordinary, as history will show, and your character is inspiring. And Doug and I
Everything
love
about
you
her is
and
fucking
Jill
fake,
and our
dude.
Well, yeah,
Jesus
what
Christ.
character is
to
she
you
going to be
both.
tonight?
We'll see.
Southern Revival? Is she?
You got to rise up.
And to
Oh,
Coach
yes, sir.
Tim Walls,
What is the coach thing? They were doing that last night. I know he was a
He
high
was
school.
a-
I know he was.
But not even he wasn't
You
even a head
are going
coach.
to
He was
be
like a
an
special teams
incredible
coach or a
vice
fucking
president.
defensive
God.
coordinator or something. Oh, Tim Cuck Chair
and
Walls.
to the delegates and everyone who has put your faith
And you
in
know
our
she hates him.
campaign.
And he
your
hates her.
support is humbling. So, America, the path that led me here in recent weeks was no doubt unexpected. But I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
my mother, our mother, Kamala Harris, had one
Shamala.
of her own.
Shamala. Ding dong.
Shamala and Kamala.
Especially right now. And I know she's looking down, smiling.
They're middle class. Her mom was a biomedical scientist. That's not middle class.
I know that.
Sorry. And her dad was a
So
fucking
my
university
mother
professor.
was 19
Good for
when
them,
she
though.
crossed
Yeah.
the world alone.
Glad they were successful.
traveling
I know,
from
right?
India
Too bad they didn't
The
do
American
an abortion.
experiment seemed to
with
serve
an
them.
unshakable dream to be the scientist who would cure breast cancer.
Okay, well, people are still dying
When
of
she
it.
Yeah.
finished school, she was supposed to return home to a traditional arranged marriage. But as fate would have it, she met my father.
She had to
Donald
rise
Harris,
up.
A student from Jamaica.
My father.
Tried to kill my father.
They fell in love and got married, and that act of self-determination
That's her father,
made
Damala.
my sister Maya.
She, hold on.
What, Bob?
She literally
Growing up, we
went
moved a lot.
black and did not
I will
go
always
back.
remember
Yeah.
that big
Yeah,
Mayflower
sure did.
truck
Sure
packed
did.
with all our belongings,
Even a
ready
scientist
to
that
go
could happen
Even a
to. That's a warning
scientist.
sign out there to
Sure
you
is,
folks thinking
guys.
about going black.
to Wisconsin.
It sounds like going black was the right call, to be
wherever
honest.
Our parents' jobs.
Yeah.
took
I mean, he was a university professor.
It
It
worked
sounded like
out.
she went down to
memories
fucking
of
Crackhead
our
Louie or
parents
something.
Together are very joyful.
Although I'm a big fan of Crackhead
A
Louie.
home
Same.
filled with laughter and music. Aretha.
It just occurred to me. She
Coltrane,
kind of looks
and
like Nancy
Miles.
Pelosi in a way. Is it the
At the
eyebrows?
park, my mother would say,
It's just being
"Stay
a cunt, I
close."
think.
But my father would say, as he smiled, "Run, Kamala, run. Don't be afraid. Don't let anything stop you."
Run, Forrest!
Okay. Okay.
What's the
From
point
my
of this?
earliest
She hasn't said
years,
anything
he
yet.
taught me to be fearless. But the harmony between my parents did not last. When I was in elementary school, they split up. And it was
Oh, she did
mostly
go back.
my
Well,
mother
there's
who
the black
raised
side.
us. Before she could finally afford to buy a home, she rented a small apartment in the East Bay. In the Bay,
At Oakland?
you either live in the hills or the flatlands. We lived in the flats. A beautiful
trial.
working class neighborhood of firefighters, nurses, and construction workers, all who tended their lawns with pride. My mother, she worked long hours, and like many working parents, she leaned on a trusted circle to help raise us. Mrs. Shelton, who ran the daycare below us and became a second mother. Uncle Sherman, Aunt Mary, Uncle Freddie, Auntie Chris.
Who?
None
Why?
of them
I don't give a
family
fuck about
by
any of them.
blood,
Yeah.
and
What is
all
she
of them
talking about?
family by love.
So usually they start these speeches where they came from and everything else. what made them and then why they go forward.
Cum made her.
Who taught us
Did.
how to make
Cum,
gumbo.
just like everybody else. I don't
How
give a
to
fuck
play
about your family.
chess.
Tell me what your policies are, you
And
stupid
sometimes
bitch.
even let us win.
I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come.
Family who loved us, believed in us, and told us we could be anything and do anything.
Not great.
They instilled in us the values they personified: community, faith, and the importance of treating others as you would want to be treated.
And leaving your
hope-
kids.
With
Yeah, leaving your kids.
kindness,
I hope the dad pops out of the crowd with a pack of cools and he
and
says, I'm home.
compassion.
Yeah.
I'm fucking home.
And a gallon of
My
milk.
mother was a
Yep.
grown,
Sorry I'm late.
5 foot tall,
Sorry I'm
brown woman
55
with
years
an
late, but I'm home now. Kamala,
And
Shamala,
as the
I'm sorry.
eldest child,
I'm sorry.
She's not gonna say
I
one
saw
goddamn thing about
how
what
the world would sometimes
what
treat
she's
her.
done in her political
my mother
career or
never
what she's
lost her
planning to
cool.
do as president.
I
She was tough,
100% agree.
What a stupid
courageous,
bitch.
a trailblazer in the fight for women's health. And she taught Maya and me a
And I.
lesson that Michelle mentioned the other night. She
Maya and I.
taught us to never complain about injustice,
Subject and
but
object.
do something about it. Do something about it.
Slam Adams. Those teeth have been
That was
dragged
my
across
mother.
more sausages than Bill Clinton has
And
accusations.
she taught us,
All right.
and she always
It seems like a lot.
She
Proud of
also
you,
taught
Slam.
us, and she also taught us, and never do anything half-assed. And that is a direct
Dougie is
quote.
100% getting pegged tonight. Andre Morgan.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
Definitely. He's
A direct
either pegged or
quote.
he's in the cuck chair. one
White
of the two.
Dougie?
Yeah.
I grew up
Teach me how to
immersed
Dougie.
in the ideals of the civil rights movement. My parents had met at a civil rights gathering, and they made sure that we learned about civil rights leaders,
I don't think
including
this is true.
the lawyers.
None of
like
it's true.
Thurgood Marshall and
This was all
Constance
focus group
Baker
tested.
Motley.
Why would an Indian really give
Those
a shit
who
about
battled in the courtroom
Thurgood
to make
Marshall?
real the promise of America. So at a young age, I decided I wanted to do that work. I wanted to be a lawyer. And when it came time to choose the type of law I would pursue, I reflected
It would
on
be
a
blocking
pivotal
up
moment in
people.
my life.
For drug offenses.
You see, when I was in high school, I started to notice something about my best friend Wanda. She was sad
white.
at school. And there were times she didn't want to go home. So one day I asked if everything was all right.
What the fuck does
And
this
she
have to do with
confided
being
in me
president?
That she was being
Wanda
sexually abused by her stepfather.
had a motor in the back of that Honda?
And I immediately told her she had to come
It had
stay
4
with
wheels.
us. And she did.
Steering wheel.
This is one of the reasons
Couple of seats. A little
I
bit of paint
became
on
a
it.
prosecutor,
A what?
to protect people
Jared Holler
like
says,
Wanda,
bet you $10 he says, I have a dream.
because I
Oh,
believe
I would love it.
everyone has
Aaron
a right
Vasquez,
to
my public
safety,
speaking professors
to
gave us the night
dignity,
off to
and
watch
to
Kamala's speech,
justice.
so here I am watching y'all's live stream instead. You made the right decision, my friend.
As a prosecutor, when I had
JT,
a
no,
case,
Hard AF will be everywhere, not just
I
at
charged
University
it
of Michigan and
not
Illinois.
in
It'll
the
be
name
in
of
all
the
over both
victim,
states.
Yep.
but in the name of the people. For a simple reason. In our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
You're just rephrasing shit from the labor movement in the late 20th century. And then people are clapping
And I
about
would
it.
often
An injury to one is an injury to all. That's what they
explain
actually
this
said.
to
And then Martin Luther
console
King repeated it in the middle of the
survivors
century.
crime, to remind them
Changes the
no
words a little
one
bit. It's like, look at,
should be made
I'm
to
very
fight
smart.
alone.
A lot of people don't know
we
that about
are
me.
all
Stupid
in
fucking
this
bitch.
together. And every day, in the
Tears.
courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge, and I said 5 words.
Fuck
Kamala
this
Harris
place
for
hoe.
the people.
What? For which people? Not the ones that you hid exculpatory evidence
And
to keep
to
him
be
on death
clear-
row, certainly.
And in work camps.
And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client,
Willie
the
Brown.
people.
Oh, sorry.
Willie's a given.
I
And
tried.
so, on behalf of the people, on behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks,
What does
on
that mean?
behalf of my mother and everyone who
Kristen,
has
you're not
ever
winning in
set
fantasy
out
football.
on their own unlikely
I just unburdened a
journey
massive load.
There you go.
on
Caleb
behalf
Newberry.
of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard.
JT says, anyone checked on
chase
Bob lately?
their
He's all bricked up with all this liberal
and
bullshit.
look out for one another,
Why do you think I'm not talking, man?
Yeah, he is
Hard
definitely
on.
bricked up. Yeah.
whose story could only
12 minutes
be
in, no
written
policy, by the way.
Not a
Just
bit.
for the record.
Greatest nation
About to be day 29.
on earth. I accept your nomination.
The greatest nation on earth. Which is it?
President
Are we
of the
horrible and
United
systemically
States of
racist,
America.
or are we the greatest nation on earth? Which one is it?
It's hard to say.
The two are mutually exclusive, so it can't be both.
I don't know. Rome was kind of both.
Rome was
With
awesome.
this election,
Rome was goated, but they were dickheads.
To whom?
and
Everyone that won
The
Rome.
Germans.
No, fuck the Germans ended up taking over the Western
And with
Empire
this
because the Romans
election,
gave it to them. Fuck the
our
Germans.
nation,
I
our
agree with you on
nation
this
with
one, my
this
friend.
election,
Technically, it was
has
the
a
Byzantines at that point, but they
precious,
thought they were Romans.
fleeting opportunity to move past the bitterness,
Constantine was a
cynicism,
pimp.
and divisive battles of the past. A chance
he
to chart a
Did what
new
many had
way
done before
forward.
him. United.
Justin Johnson says 5 words. Let me
Not-
blow you now. I like that a lot.
Not
Justin
as
Johnson.
members of any one
Constantine
party
united
or
a
faction, but as Americans.
Disparate people under a single religion.
We gotta take the
And let
Hagia
me
Sophia
say,
back. That's what
I know
I'm
there are
saying.
people of various
I mean, Muhammad did
political
it
views
too.
watching tonight.
You know, Allah was
And
a
I want you to
pagan
know,
god,
I
one of thousands
promise
of pagan
to
gods.
be a president for
Very smart
all
move on his part.
Americans. You can
Dropping some knowledge here,
always
'cause there's
trust
nothing
me
going on on this
to put
screen.
country above party and self. To hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of
you know the
law
thing.
to free and fair
Again, no policy.
elections, to the peaceful transfer of power.
I cannot wait for the debate.
It's going to be rough for her. She still hasn't said anything
I
meaningful.
will be a president who unites us around our highest aspirations. A president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense, and always fights for the American people. From the courthouse
Just tell us how you're
to
going to
the
do
White
it.
House, that
From the
has
window
been
to
my
the
life's
walls.
To the
work.
wall. Just tell us how.
Here's how we're going to let
Sweat run
we're going to
down
let
the ball.
20 million
Former
illegal
prosecutor
immigrants
in
into the
Oakland,
country.
California.
We're going to inflate your currency.
women
We're going to
and
spend what little money you do have on
against
Ukraine and
predators who
Israel,
abuse them.
and you can go fuck
As
yourself.
Attorney General
Yeah.
of California,
That's what we're gonna do.
I
Pay your
took on
taxes
the
or
big
we'll send men
banks,
with guns.
Yeah.
delivered $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure, and helped pass a homeowner bill of rights, one of the first of its kind in
Why
the
would there be a
nation.
homeowner bill of rights? That's
does that even
fucking
mean?
Retarded.
I stood up for veterans and students
They're not gonna
being
let me jerk off on my
scammed
front
by
lawn. It's not my bill of rights.
colleges.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we got a first
Who are
tier.
being cheated out of their wages.
We're going to see the
wages
first
they
female
were
president.
due.
Like, no.
For seniors
Definitely not.
facing elder abuse. I fought against
What
the
about the
cartels
veterans and
who
seniors
traffic in
Democrats
guns
kicked
and
out of
drugs
housing in
and
New York
human
to put fucking
beings,
illegal immigrants
who
into?
Yes.
threaten the
That would be
security
something
of
to think
our
about, man.
border and the safety of our communities.
If Trump
And
wins
I will
again, do we
tell
need to
you,
talk about his
these
cupcake
fights were not
schedule?
easy.
Oh, yeah,
Neither
for
one.
Hillary and
Yeah.
so he beat 2
It
women.
It was a real Alabama schedule. to be
Yeah,
honest.
he beat 2 women. It's an SEC
We
schedule.
were
Kidding.
underestimated
Kidding, SEC
at
fans.
practically every turn.
It's a real Iowa
But we
schedule.
never gave up, because the future is always worth fighting for.
What does that mean?
Hang on, guys. We're 16 minutes in.
And that's the
Policy.
fight we are in.
How don't you
right
fight for the
now.
future?
Big
Policy.
fight
Hey, I just got a
for
tip,
America's future.
that this hasn't been released yet. I don't know if she's going to say it tonight, but one of Kamala Harris's first, you know, the 100-day initiative?
Yeah.
Every president
election
has one. 100 days in office.
is
One of the
not
in the first 100 days, she
the
wants to have the
most
NRA
important
classified as a terrorist or
our
domestic terror
lives.
organization.
It is
Makes sense.
one of the most
How, does it? How?
important.
You have to
in the
do
life of our
terrorism
nation.
Right.
to be a terrorist organization.
But they haven't made Antifa a terrorist organization. Like,
well, Antifa's
many
not real,
ways,
Ross.
But exactly.
It's not a
Donald
thing.
Like, all of
Trump
this is
an unserious
fucking
man.
retarded. So here we go. Here's Trump.
But the consequences.
Drink.
But the consequences of putting Donald
Delicious.
Trump back in the White House are extremely
Donald
serious.
Trump again. That's 2.
Not
Again.
one
Boom.
mention of policy.
Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the
There was
gravity
none.
of what has
There were no
happened
wars.
since he lost
None.
the last election.
The wars. There were the Abraham Accords and
Donald
no wars.
Trump
Yeah, he should
tried
have gotten
to
a
throw
Nobel
away
Peace
your
Prize for that
votes.
shit.
2 more Donald Trumps.
When
buddy.
he
God
failed,
bless America.
Yeah, you're just
he
gonna have to
sent
cut your
an
wrists here.
armed mob
I've got a Montana knife.
to
Josh
the
Smith
United
will
States
help you.
Capitol,
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
assaulted law
So
enforcement
January
officers.
6th, this is something I predicted. I was like,
When
all right, great. We'll go to
politicians
J6, but there's
in
no,
his own
it's nothing.
party
No policy.
begged him to call off the mob.
Who was killed
and
on January
send
6th?
help. He did the opposite.
No one.
He failed.
no,
there was a
the
woman killed.
flames.
Ashley Babbitt.
And
She was what?
now,
A conservative?
For an
Yeah,
entirely
Air Force veteran, actually.
Okay.
different set of crimes, he was
How many
found
people were
guilty
charged
of
with insurrection?
fraud by a jury of everyday
None.
Americans.
No.
Yeah. No.
And
100?
No, not.
No, none of them. There was no technical
and
charge of
separately
insurrection.
found
No.
liable for
Trespassing, which all those got knocked
Trespassing
down.
and yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The trespassing stayed up,
And
but
Nobody was
Consider-
tried and convicted with insurrection.
Consider
the
Right.
what was it?
intends to do
It was
if we give him
trespassing.
power.
You're
Yeah,
right.
those
You're right.
those convictions will probably
Consider
stand, but the other
his
one,
explicit
There was
intent
terrorizing.
to set
yeah, but the
free
other
violent
convictions were based on
extremists
interfering with an
who
investigation or
assaulted
whatever.
those law enforcement officers at the Capitol. His explicit intent to jail journalists, political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy. His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens. Consider.
You're talking about the National Guard?
Power
Yeah.
he will
They're in New York
have,
City.
being forced.
especially
New York City right now.
after the
In the
United
subways,
States
10,000 of them.
Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution.
Not one mention of policy,
Nothing.
and we are now.
Just imagine
19 minutes in.
Donald Trump
Only
with
19
no
minutes?
guardrails.
No, not 19.
Donald Trump. You gotta drink again.
Oh,
And how
thank you, sir.
17
he would
and a half
use the
minutes.
immense powers of the presidency of the United States. Not to improve your life.
Everybody's
not
life was
to
quantitatively and
strengthen
qualitatively
our national
improved
security.
during his tenure.
But to serve
It's really not even
the
a debate.
only
It's not at all.
client
Like
he
inflation,
has
total
ever
inflation
had.
in his 4 years, I think it was
Himself.
8%.
Yeah, 225 was
I
gas.
believe. Let's see.
And we know what a second Trump term would look like. It's all laid out in Project 2025, written by his closest advisors.
That's
Can one of your guys
Why?
grab me another one of
Total is
these?
To pull our country back
You
to
can
the
go
past.
grab it, Bill.
I'll go grab it.
Yeah, go grab it.
But
I'll take
America-
some too, Bill. Go ahead.
You want one?
We are
Dan, you
not
want one?
going
no, I'm good,
back.
thank
We are not going back. We are not going back.
Yeah.
None of his advisors, by the way, wrote the 2025
We
thing.
are
No,
not
no, they
going
didn't.
back.
By the way, yeah,
To
I'm
when
right about that.
Donald Trump
Total inflation in
tried
4
to
years under
cut
Trump was
Social
8%.
Security
That's
and
2% a year.
Medicare.
He
We
was
are
better
not
than
going
average in
back to
every
when
single
he
year.
tried to get rid of the Affordable
And it's
Care
22%
Act,
under
when
these assholes.
insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing
Jesus Christ.
conditions. We are not going to let him eliminate the Department of Education that funds our public schools. We are not going to let him end programs like Head Start that provide preschool and childcare for our children. America, we are not going back.
I want to go back. I just want to go back. That's all I want to do.
Everybody wants to go back
That's all I want to do is go back.
to 8% total inflation
That's it.
over 4 years.
That's all I want to do is go back.
We are charting, and we
Oh,
are
Don Cheadle.
Cheadle said
a new way forward.
God, gotta get this like a hair in my throat or something.
To a future with a strong and growing middle class, because we know a strong middle class has always been critical to America's success.
So what we're gonna
And
do is tax the
building
fuck out of
that
them.
middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
What about kamikaze?
And I'll tell
it's
you,
Kamala
this
Harris
is
flying a
personal
plane
for
into the
me.
World Trade Center.
I like
The
that.
middle class is where I come from. My mother kept a strict budget.
I'm sorry, a biomedical
lived
scientist is
within
not
our
a middle class
means.
person.
No.
Yet,
Maybe
we
after
wanted
divorce,
little.
I guess.
No.
I'm not really.
And
No.
she expected us to make the most of the opportunities that were available
She was a
to
fucking
us,
researcher. She's
and to be
now.
grateful for them. Because as she taught us,
Is she gonna do the
opportunity
thing?
is not available
Like the where
to
we come from and
everyone.
where we're going? And
unbound
That's why
by.
Unbound
we will
by what?
I don't
create
know.
what
There's still no
I call
policy.
Whatever.
Opportunity economy.
It would be
An
funny if she did that.
Opportunity economy where
yeah. It
would show some
everyone
self-awareness.
has the
Yeah.
chance to compete and a chance to succeed.
Like I realize I'm a ridiculous idiot.
You live in a rural
That's what we're doing
area,
here.
small town, or big city. And as president, I will bring together labor and workers and small business owners.
You can
Labor
do it
or
now.
all workers.
But here's the thing, you can
and
do it now.
American
You're in office
companies
right now.
To create jobs, to grow our economy, and to lower the cost of everyday needs like health care.
It's the same thing with Biden.
You're in there right
We
now.
will
He was in government for
provide
50 years.
Access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders. And we will
Head Start,
end
No Child
America's
Left Behind.
housing
This
shortage
shit writes itself.
and
She got her
protect
career by going
Social
back in the
Security
back.
and Medicare.
Does that mean anal?
I think so.
Probably.
$5 from Matt
Now
McCarthy
compare
for
that
Ross to throw on
to Donald
GT,
Trump.
baby. What's GT?
Because I
I'll
think
throw in
everyone
GT.
here knows
What's GT?
he doesn't
No idea.
actually fight
No
for
idea.
the middle class. He doesn't actually fight for the middle class. Instead, he fights for himself and his billionaire friends. And he will give them another round of tax breaks that will add
Actually, everybody
up
got
to
tax
$5
breaks.
trillion
The whole lot of
to
them.
the national debt. And all the while,
They're booing the
he
national debt
intends
growing,
to enact
as
what
if they
in
give a
effect
fuck
is a national sales
about the national
tax,
debt
call
growing.
it a Trump tax, that would raise prices on middle-class families by almost $4,000
Oh,
a
yeah,
year.
that's right. A tariff would cost
Well, instead of a
$3,900
Trump
per
tax
family.
hike, we will pass a
And it would get rid
middle-class
of the
tax
income
cut
tax, which
that
costs
will
families somewhere
benefit
between $11,000 and
more than 100
$14,000.
million Americans.
Math. It's what's for dinner.
Just math.
I mean, she's part Indian. She should be able to do math.
Friends,
Does my bookie
I
have an
believe
average time between her
America
sentences
cannot
and applause gaps?
truly be
What's the odds on no
prosperous
policy for this whole thing? I have no
unless
idea.
Americans
No policy?
There won't be
No
a
policy
shred
for
of
the entire
policy.
speech?
100%.
Make
There won't be
their
any.
own decisions
I
about
don't think
their
there will be.
own lives, especially
24
on
minutes in, no
matters of
policy.
heart and home. But tonight, in
I'm gonna eat a
America,
sandwich.
too many
Go ahead.
women are not able to make those decisions. And let's be clear about how we got here. Donald Trump
Donald Trump.
handpicked members of the United States
Drink.
Good
Supreme
man.
Court to
Drink.
take away reproductive freedom. And now he brags about it. In his words, quote, "I did it and I'm proud to have done it," end quote.
So I said, by the way, Bill,
Well, I'll tell you,
J6 would come up,
Over
abortion
the
would
past
come
2
up.
years, I've
2 for
traveled
2 so
across
far
our
on
country,
those.
and women have
But
told
how is
me
she
their
going to change it
stories.
is what I want to know.
Husbands
Like
and
policy. Just go to
fathers
policy.
have shared theirs.
I don't see her doing it, dude.
Stories of women miscarrying in a parking lot,
Oh,
developing
Good night,
sepsis,
Martha.
losing the ability to ever again have children, all because doctors are afraid they may go to jail for caring for their patients. Couples just trying to grow their family, cut off in the middle of IVF treatments.
wait, is she advocating for
come
abortion?
on,
Children
man.
who have survived sexual assault, potentially being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. This is what's happening in our country because of Donald
You're
Trump.
in charge.
Donald Trump.
And understand, he is not done.
Drink.
As a part of his agenda, he and his allies would limit access to birth control,
No,
ban
what?
medication abortion, and enact a nationwide abortion ban with or without
No,
Congress.
it's back
And
to
get
the
this.
states.
Get this.
The Dobbs
He
decision
plans
put it back to the
create
states.
A national anti-abortion coordinator
Oh my God.
and force
None of this is
states
true, by the way.
No, it's
report
total lies.
on women's miscarriages and abortions.
They said it's not addressed in the Constitution. It gets left to the states. So there are states where you can
Simply
kill
put,
babies, and there are states where you can't.
They are out of their minds. exactly is it that they don't trust women? Well, we trust women. We trust women.
All of them? What about Casey Anthony?
Yeah, what about her?
And when Congress passes a bill
Do we trust her, Ross?
to restore reproductive
I think on the next one I will.
as President of
I could
the
save her.
United States,
I know
I
you
will
could.
proudly
I know you
sign
could,
it
girl.
into law.
I'd give it a fighter's chance.
I know you would. Okay, so there's one policy she finally said. She said she would make
In this election,
abortion into a law.
many other fundamental freedoms are at stake. The freedom to live
27
safe
minutes in.
from gun violence in our schools, communities, and
All right, now she's going to
places
ban
of
guns on
worship.
this one.
The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride.
That's already a thing.
The freedom
Don't need Kevlar
to
vests.
breathe clean air and drink clean water and live free from the pollution that fuels the climate crisis.
Brought to us by China.
And the freedom
comes
that
from China.
unlocks all the others the freedom to vote.
I don't understand the freedom to
With
vote.
this
Everybody votes.
election, we finally have the opportunity to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act.
Okay, so there's two policy things. We're 28 minutes in. What is the John Lewis Voting Act?
I think it's
I
the
don't know what that is.
I think it's
And let
the
me
you
be
don't need an
clear.
ID to vote.
After decades in
Is that
law
right?
enforcement,
No, we definitely need an ID to vote.
No, I'm saying that's the
No,
John
I know,
Lewis.
but
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not great.
Security.
You
I think-
definitely need an ID to
especially at our
vote.
Somebody
border.
check me on that.
I got butt
Last
fucked at the
year,
DMV for
Joe
4
and I
fucking
brought
hours.
together
Well, there's
18
Democrats
pieces
and
of documents
Republicans
just to get a goddamn
to
ID
write
the
the
other day.
strongest border bill in decades.
Voter ID is
The
about to
Border
get
Patrol
codified in
endorsed
law.
it.
All right, so now she's going into the
But
border.
Donald
There's a
Trump
border
believes
bill.
a border deal would hurt his campaign.
I am the border bill.
So he ordered
The border
his
bill
allies in Congress to kill the
Codifies
deal.
allowing 1.5 million illegal immigrants into the
Well,
country
I
each year.
refuse
Right.
to play politics
And
And
then
then
with
the
our
20
So we're
million that
not-
are here get to vote.
Yes,
And
you
so
should
we're
never
not
vote on
doing
that.
that.
Correct.
To you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
No, you
the
won't,
worst
because
bill
Congress
ever.
will never pass it.
Congress will never pass that.
I know we can live up to our proud heritage as a nation of immigrants and reform our broken immigration system.
It's broken under
We
you. You're the
can.
border czar, dude.
Create an earned pathway to citizenship and secure our border.
You've been in charge of the border
And America,
For 4 years.
for 4
we
years.
must also be steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad.
Who is
As
this
Vice
broad?
President, I have confronted
What
threats
broad we
to
talking
our
about?
Yeah.
security, negotiated with foreign leaders, strengthened our alliances, and engaged with our brave troops overseas. As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world,
By slashing their budget.
and I will fulfill our sacred obligation to care for our troops and their families, and I will always honor and never disparage
Oh, did you notice how
their
much?
service
Did you notice
and
how
their
low the cheering got
Oh,
when
yeah.
she said that? Well, now it just went up. So I stand
Not for the
corrected.
troops, though.
But I'm
for
saying
the
like
troops,
they were
but-
cheering, and then she said helping the soldiers, and it just lulled.
Whoa.
I will make sure
They're cheering USA. That's amazing.
that we lead the world into the future on space and artificial intelligence, that America, not China,
talk to us about the
wins
cloud.
competition for the 21st century. And
It's
that
not
we
like an
strengthen,
actual cloud,
not
you
abdicate
understand?
our
It's above
global
us.
leadership.
It's inside of us.
Trump,
It's around
on
us.
the other
Yeah.
hand,
Trump, drink.
threatened to abandon NATO.
Yeah.
Fuck NATO.
Fuck NATO.
We
What
don't
the
need
fuck do we
NATO.
care about
All
goddamn
good
Europe,
about
dude?
NATO, dude. Don't give a shit.
Said Russia could, quote, do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big time.
They
we don't
can.
care.
Don't care.
5 days
We've got our
before
own shit to
Russia
fix, lady.
attacked Ukraine, I met with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a
You
global
did?
response
No,
of
you
50
didn't.
countries
Did ya?
to defend against
No, she didn't have
Somebody
anything to do with
fact check
that.
that, dude.
She didn't have anything to do with any of
As
that. What the fuck are you
president,
talking
I will
about?
stand
Jesus
strong with
Christ, dude.
Ukraine and our NATO
Oh my God, she's like, I took charge. Like NATO has been a thing for some time now.
Man, I was the one, I put my jeans on and I went around the world and I said, stop doing this. And they stopped. And then they started again. I couldn't do nothing.
Because now
Not until you,
That's fucking madness.
not until you reelect me.
Yeah.
Then I'll be able to fix
If
it.
you reelect me, though, I can do it.
Yeah.
Unburdened by what was.
And let me be clear. And let me be clear.
Please be clear.
I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself.
Fuck off.
And I will
Well,
always
I will say this.
ensure
Josh Shapiro has
Israel's
hang on.
entered the chat.
ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7th.
So this is going to lose the votes in Michigan. Like, that's a big deal right there.
Yeah, it is actually.
Sexual
You're right.
violence and the massacre of young
Nobody
people
spoke
at a
out
music
against it so
festival.
far, and like that's a
At
big
the
deal.
same time,
Yeah,
They're
I
going to
mean-
come after tomorrow for this. I
what
guarantee
has
it.
happened in Gaza
If I gotta give her
over the past
props, I'll
10
give her
Wait,
props
wait.
for
Here
that.
she's moving to Gaza.
Devastating.
Hang on.
So many innocent lives lost.
Who fucking cares about Gaza?
Desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety over and over.
You're talking about
again.
Minneapolis,
The
or is it
scale
LA
of
or
suffering
Chicago where
is
you are right now?
heartbreaking.
Or is it New York?
President Biden and I
Or is it
are working
Atlanta?
to end this war.
Or is it fucking Detroit?
Such that
Hard to
Israel
keep up.
is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian
It's
people
happening now
can
while you're in
realize
charge.
Their right to
You and your
dignity,
dad.
security, freedom, and self-determination.
Is she saying these people will continue to die till she's elected?
I guess. You're there now. Like you're
Like
there.
you're in the place.
It'll be a
I will
year
never hesitate
and
to
40
take
days
whatever
that they've been
action is
stuck.
necessary to defend our forces and our interests against Iran and Iran-backed terrorists. I will not cozy up to tyrants and dictators like Kim Jong-un who are rooting for Trump.
Trump.
Boom.
Dude.
2 Trumps.
Because, they know he is easy to manipulate with flattery and favors. They know
You work for
Trump won't
Joe
hold
Biden and took
autocrats
millions of
accountable
dollars from
because he
Ukraine
wants
and
to
China.
be
What
an
are you-
Charisma.
autocrat himself.
What are you talking about?
And as president, I will never waver in defense of America's security and ideals, because in the
Border.
struggle between democracy
Border, 20
and
million
tyranny,
illegal immigrants,
I know
criminals
where
from
I
El
stand,
Salvador,
and I know
Venezuela.
where the United States belongs.
You stupid cunt. God damn it, man. I'm perfectly happy having a country without any of these people in it, whether it's this one or some other one, frankly. Anybody that would cheer for this fucking mongoloid doesn't deserve
I don't
to
get
fucking
it.
share the fucking
Fellow
security
Americans.
that actual men have provided for them.
I love our country with all my heart.
Except for all you racist Republicans out there.
Everywhere I go, in everyone I meet, I see
She loves
a
you a long
nation
time.
that is ready to move
I
forward.
tell you what, the bigger boy.
Ready
Too
for
boo-boo.
the next step in
I
the
love you a long
incredible
time,
journey
boy.
that is America. I see an America where we hold fast to the fearless belief that built our nation and inspired the world. That here, in this country, anything is possible. That nothing is out of reach. An
Unburdened
America
by
where
has
we
been.
care for one another, look out for one another, and recognize
You
that we have
motherfuckers
so much
created
more in
rules
common
where
than what
elderly people
separates
died
us.
alone in hospitals because their children couldn't come fucking see them off.
Tim Waltz
That none
You
of
fucking
us,
cunt.
was arresting people
none of us
for
has
fucking being
to
outside.
fail.
God, these
around.
people
For
should
all
all
of us
fucking
to
seppuku
succeed.
immediately.
Honorable.
That would be the first
And
honorable
that
thing any of them have ever done in their goddamn lives.
strength.
I was waiting for that. I heard it in
You
my
know,
head.
our opponents in this race are
God
out there
damn it, man.
every day
She went over 30 minutes.
denigrating America, talking about how terrible everything is. Well,
What's the
My
over-under on
mother had
Beyonce giving
another
us some
lesson
policy?
She used to teach.
None.
Never let anyone tell you who you are. You show them who you are.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about, bitch?
America.
Is that James Brown?
It's Maxine
Let
Waters
us
close.
Oh, that was Maxine Waters?
Each
Close.
other and the world.
Watch me now.
Yeah,
who we are
somebody should watch her.
And what we stand for. Freedom, opportunity.
Wasn't she the one who said fuck 'em up when you see 'em in restaurants?
Dignity, fairness,
so.
and endless possibilities. We are the heirs to the greatest democracy in the history of the world. And on behalf of our children,
Is
and our
Biden sleeping right now, or is he
all
fuming?
those who sacrificed
No, Jill's up. He's
so
sleeping.
Jill's pissed.
Jill's up.
our
Guaranteed.
freedom.
She's rubbing cocoa butter on his feet right now.
We
Keep him
must
alive?
Yeah,
be
that's the only way.
Yeah.
You got to keep it
of
sealed
this
up down there.
moment.
Coco
It is now our
Aaron Neville style?
turn
Yeah.
to do what
I don't know
generations
much,
before us
but I know
have
cocoa
done.
butter.
Guided.
Just rubbing
from
those old feet, dude.
optimism
Rub it on
and
my
faith.
feet.
Yeah,
Fight
he's eating
for this
fucking vanilla ice
country
cream. It's all
we
dribbled
love.
down his face and chest.
Fight
Naked
Passed
Joe
out.
Biden. He's like,
oh,
the bedpan's right next to the bed is full of piss and blood. And she's just rubbing cocoa butter into his fucking feet, his old man feet.
love you.
Aaron Neville's in the cuck chair, pounding off in the corner, singing.
Maybe.
The privilege and pride of being an American.
I'm not even paying attention. to this
Beyonce
stupid
is going to
fucking-
bust out through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. And,
That would be awesome.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Let's fight for it.
Who is that guy?
Get
Hang
out
on.
there.
So she's done
Let's
here.
vote for it. And together, let us write the next great chapter in the most extraordinary story ever told. Thank you. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Which God? Like
Thank you all.
the one with all the arms, or
38 minutes. 38 minutes is what she went for President of the United States. I wonder if that's the shortest in history.
To be fair, Trump should have won 38 minutes.
I would have appreciated it.
God, it's the liberal comments, dude. You just couldn't hold it in. I knew it.
No, I'm
I
saying
knew the
Trump was
liberal
great
boys
for-
would be. I
Literally,
knew it. The
Dan,
Libby
just
boys would be
on
out
the-
there tonight, dude.
Liberal me.
The Libby boys, dude. The Libby boys are back, baby.
Dan was like, God, please stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
I
knew it,
Holloway
dude.
was
I knew
like,
it.
please wrap it up
Yeah.
after
I
30
knew it.
minutes.
I can't do the fucking 90-minute meandering fucking speech.
And
man.
by the way, the greatest speech in the history of the United States was like 6 minutes long.
Which one was
you
it?
talking about fucking Lincoln?
The Gettysburg Address.
That wasn't
That was
even
a
6
bullshit
minutes.
speech.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about that speech. It was a bullshit speech. The Gettysburg.
Shut up,
Nobody
Gary, you
cares.
piece of shit.
Nobody cares about the Gettysburg Address. What did that do? Nothing. Nothing.
Well, it kind of didn't do
Well,
a lot,
you
to be
know.
honest.
Didn't do anything.
Didn't
the
do.
Gettysburg Address. What did he do?
He announced the Emancipation Proclamation,
Great.
which technically freed Union
No,
slaves who.
It was already announced.
The Gettysburg
But that
Address.
was the first public address he had done since it came out. Right?
The Gettysburg Address
I have
lasted
no idea
about
that.
2 minutes.
The greatest speech
that's
of
longer
all
than
time.
That's
Gary
all you
last.
need.
The greatest speech of all
I tell
time
my wife.
was. We know who it is, right?
What
Chris
was it?
Rock?
No,
I so want to know what you're about to say right
Johnny
now.
Cochran. If the gloves don't fit, what? It's right behind you. Okay, it was a free man that day.
You're
He
talking about
must have quit.
It was a free man. It was an innocent man.
the Chewbacca defense?
That was the best speech ever. All right, turn this back up. Here's what do we got? We got
We got two faggots
Dougie
on stage
White's-
with two old women.
Yeah, wall to the window, to the walls.
Till men cut off their balls.
Now is Beyonce coming out? What was the big surprise here? Is she gonna drop in from the ceiling? Jared Taylor's in the house. Jared.
What do you want, you piece of shit?
We got 2,000 people.
I want to give my comments about this bullshit.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jared.
You're on air. Go
What was
ahead.
the surprise, though?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was not great. It was not
What
great.
was the surprise?
Not great.
Dude, your commentary was perfect. I love it. Keep going.
Thank you.
We love you,
See you
Jared.
in hell, buddy.
Are they gonna? Is Beyonce gonna come out through the balloons? What was the surprise? Don Lemon cock teased us all day with his bullshit surprise, and we got.
Yeah,
turn
Beyonce's
up the
here.
volume here. Is she there?
I think
Is she in the balloon somewhere?
It was on Twitter earlier that she was there. I don't know about in the balloons. She might be in a balloon. If there's her voice.
Well, I mean it's a pre-recorded track.
I wonder
Obviously, it's a
if
big song.
one big balloon comes down, she's probably in that balloon.
Oh, if that would be great. If she popped
There's
out
a
of the balloon
with a big ass.
Now that I'd be all in for.
Yep. I'm a fan of Beyonce. I'm not gonna lie. Austin Powers.
That's the Beyonce fan you want?
I like that.
Austin
Beyonce.
Powers, yeah.
I'm a fan of that one.
So hey, if this is truly over, which it appears that it is, what was the big surprise then supposed to be? I guess.
That she didn't fucking stumble through the whole speech. You said that there were 2 or 3.
Taylor Swift was rumored. Beyonce was rumored.
No. You said that there were 2 or 3 policy things. She said. What were they?
Yeah.
Abortion.
Hang on. We'll
codifying abortion.
Codifying abortion.
Okay. Nobody cares about
the
that.
the border bill that was nuked by
She wanted to. I guess,
Republicans. She wanted to do that exact bill,
And
which
then,
was a terrible bill. And then there was a third
the voting
one.
bill.
Correct.
And then also.
Yes. John Lewis's bill.
That didn't pass when the Democrats were in charge of the fucking Senate. Like they're going to have 60 senators to get that through.
Well, they're still in charge of the Senate, right?
No, they couldn't pass the cloture vote. It was in
Right,
2021.
right. Yeah.
Like when the Democrats were in power, they can't. It's not going to pass. There's no way for that to pass.
And then I guess you could say she vaguely mentioned continuing to spend a lot of money on the military. Would be the other one. That's the
She
other
didn't
one
say anything
I
about
heard.
money though. She just said most powerful military.
Just wanted to keep it number 1, whatever that means.
I'm really sure here. But if this is it, what was the surprise supposed to be, I guess? They were like, you can't miss it tonight. Unless Beyonce was late, and that would be perfectly black, but...
She is from Houston.
Meh.
So...
She is, but yeah, we didn't really get much here.
This is what I mean. Like the DNC has been like this weird policy devoid party.
Because you can't run on that. So I understand it, and we'll get to that after this. As long as nobody's gonna pop out of a birthday cake or whatever the fuck is supposed
Just
to happen.
cut this sound. I don't want to hear.
I'm
this
waiting
shit
for the
anymore.
other shoe to drop. There's got to be something else happening.
Is there shoes coming down from the stadium? Like, what is it? No, everybody's up on stage.
Was
like,
that Tricky Dick
to
Durbin?
try to clear all these people with Secret Service and
I
everything?
mean, those are some bigger balloons now. She's gonna pop out of one
the
of those.
balloons are getting bigger, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, there we
What
go.
is he
but
doing?
You're at
Sergeant
11,
Minor
16
Waltz.
on the. No, he's a coach. It's Coach Waltz. Look at him kicking balloons, dude.
It's Master Sergeant Waltz.
What's with
which
his
doesn't
hands?
sound-
He's
Sergeant
always
Minor.
doing these things with his hands.
He's a very awkward man.
He's Steve Ballmer.
Yes, that's a great.
He's an old white with no rhythm.
It's a great analogy right there. But yeah, this would be too much with the Secret Service on there. There's no surprise at the end of this fucking thing here. What I had said before we leaving the house tonight, I was like, even if you're Beyonce or Taylor Swift, do you want to risk doing either political party?
No.
For your fans?
Beyonce has no risk. Only Taylor has a risk.
I agree. But
Does Taylor have a risk?
Yes.
More
Absolutely.
so than Beyonce.
But she's already done stuff with the Democratic Party before. There's
with a local governor, but never
Yeah,
nationally.
but there's a video of her crying, talking about getting people to vote for Democrats.
Correct. In Tennessee. Her
Oh,
home
I didn't
state.
know that.
Yeah. It was on a
I mean,
documentary.
who cares what she thinks? She's a fucking idiot.
Also,
She is
she's
a
like
retard.
obviously liberal, but
Correct.
there's a difference between being obviously liberal and like actively campaigning.
Fair.
Yeah. I think it's a bad move for any celebrity, but that's just me personally.
That's your George Clooney.
Well, he's married into it, so.
And he's a fucking gajillionaire now because of that fucking booze company.
Yeah, and by the way, we'll go back to singles here and figure this out after this, as long as nothing else is going on, and it doesn't appear as if
Just
it
keep
is.
an eye on it, boys.
Yeah, keep
If
an
anything
eye on
pops
it.
up.
We can go back to singles here in the show. So, all right.
It's wrapping up.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Just keep it muted, and then we'll look in the background. If she pops out of somewhere, great. They're all
I
kind
would
of
like to
looking
see
around.
Beyonce.
At this point, yeah. All right, so speech was 39 minutes. 4 policy things was that the total? The John Lewis Voting Act thing to me, like, no, I don't want people to vote without IDs. Like, the
As long
fucking
as that's the
hell that
thing.
I've gone through for a fucking ID, no.
Well, the Supreme Court
is that the John Lewis Act?
Yeah,
He wants no voting without IDs?
essentially, it's to reinstitute parts of the Voting Rights Act from back in the day. and
Can
it's
I
just not
buy
gonna
a
happen.
hard AF seltzer without an ID?
No, you can't.
Well then.
Yeah, exactly.
Or drive a
That's a
car, or
conundrum.
buy a
Drive a car,
house, or open a
or-
bank account, or do anything.
Or vote. I mean, you shouldn't be
So
able to
something
vote.
fundamental to our bedrock, our democracy.
Yeah,
Our constitutional republic shouldn't require an ID. But if I
No.
want to,
No, it shouldn't, Bill.
It's really the whole thing is dumb. Like every policy, the military thing she said is not policy. So there's three, right? It's abortion, fair enough, but that's the Supreme Court has ruled on that. It is over.
yeah.
That is not a federal fucking mandate.
And it's not. It's not in the Constitution. It's
Yeah.
not addressed. The 10th Amendment is clear about
Yeah,
this.
it's very clear.
Well, I would presume they're both. If you're talking about making it illegal or legal, both people will be talking about making a constitutional amendment for it. Correct?
Yeah, but fair enough. But and people are fucking stupid. There's no question about that. But people do know what that takes, right? What it requires to have a constitutional amendment.
Actually, I don't think people do because there hasn't been one passed since what 92.
91, I think.
91?
Yeah, it's been a long time. And,
was-
and by the way, the only candidate I've heard speak on it was Trump. And I think he came in at, was it 15 weeks or something like that, and said he'd be fine with that. But look.
Yeah, I don't think anybody gives a fuck, to be honest. I mean, it's going to get adjudicated at the state level where it should.
That's where it should live.
We're a federalist republic, and that's how it's supposed
Which,
to work.
by the way, the most infuriating part about that is
They're
that
winning.
They're winning
in every state.
They're winning in every state.
Yeah,
Shut
isn't
the
it they've
fuck
done
up.
more abortions since that law?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I don't think that's true.
That's
But-
not true?
But they are passing abortion, like pro-abortion laws to some level, like
Even in
15 weeks,
even in
whatever.
Iowa, it
Kansas,
passed.
Ohio. So
Like
the most
Ohio,
conservative
everybody
states that
went
exist.
down ballot for Republicans, and then they said, hey, we don't like this abortion thing. Like,
Yeah,
we'll get
they
rid
got-
of it.
It is on the ballot in Florida.
Correct.
They got it on the ballot in Arkansas.
Yes.
They are winning everywhere.
Yeah.
But they don't want to talk about. This is what drives me insane. Is they don't want to talk about like local government. It's
No,
only
they
a
want
big,
centralization of power at the highest levels.
Right. And meanwhile, the states are voting on this individually over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Abbott made his own fucking decision.
Oh, it's
I haven't seen that on a ballot.
It's on Missouri too. Bailey tried to get it off actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's on Missouri's ballot too.
Gotcha.
So now it's the only real policy thing that she mentioned that even has any shot, which it doesn't really, of passing, is the so-called immigration or border security bill. That again, this is what the bill says: after 5,000 people in one day are paroled into the country, that is to say, military-age males allowed into our country because they say they have credible fear without any justification for it. 5,000 a day. Then they shut it down for that day. That's 1.5 million motherfuckers every year. And that's not including the people that get away. Those are just the ones that we fucking catch and allow in to the country.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. It's not going to fucking happen.
And I don't think that bill will ever be passed.
No, fuck no. It's not going to pass.
And at this point, and I've
It
said
won't
this-
even get out. It won't even get to a vote in the Senate. Like it won't even get out of committee. I don't think.
I don't see how it would.
So people are saying Beyonce potentially did sing 2 hours ago.
Who knows, man?
I don't know, man.
That was really
No. I've been on Twitter the whole time, and people were like, "Wait, who was the guest?" Like, there has been no.
Go
guest.
to
Maybe she's in a bathtub.
go to a thing called End
Like-
Wokeness, Bob.
like,
So it appears as if she's on stage somewhere else because there's wind and everything else. Go to End
Like off
Wokeness.
camera?
2 hours ago. Play this clip because I have not seen this. And we weren't on yet, so we went on about an hour and 20 minutes ago. So maybe she did, and we just weren't here for it.
I hope she's looking
But-
finer than a frog's hair.
If she was in there, we would obviously see it. Scroll down. It was there. It is. Play this clip for the audience. So maybe she zoomed in from somewhere.
We've come from having no voice to being on the brink of making history. Again,
They're talking about female being a president.
by
That's the thing.
electing the first woman president.
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
I will
but we
never
have to vote.
vote.
The world looks to us
Ever?
as a
No.
progressive
Period?
country.
Not
that
even like
leads
a.
change.
Like what if like a.
Years ago,
What was her
I
name?
so inspired to
Why am
know
I have a
that
buzz
my
now because of Donald Trump?
Martha Stewart.
No.
Bill, you need to shut the fuck up now.
Oh,
all right, play
sorry.
this, okay?
Sorry.
dreams could be realized
Oh, I don't give a
by
fuck what
witnessing
Beyonce.
Margaret
a
Thatcher.
black president in office.
No.
Oh, I didn't mind her.
Bill rocked. Absolutely hammered right now.
And
You.
now,
Am I not
we have
No,
drinking?
the opportunity
you are.
to
Definitely
create more change. I want my daughter to grow up seeing a woman lead our country.
Why?
Why are people so focused on what's between someone's legs?
That her possibilities are limitless.
I just want policy.
We have to think about the future of our daughters, our sons.
There's another tab open, Bob.
Yeah,
on there.
someone
There's
else
another
is talking.
audio, Bob.
We do. And that is why.
Yep, there it was.
There it was.
The clip was over anyway.
Okay. So Beyonce was the special guest, but where is she at? She wasn't there, so they just kind of zoomed her in for
No,
this?
and Wokeness said this was for Hillary in 2016.
Oh, who fucking cares?
Dude.
So yeah, there was no guest.
So there was no special
Now-
thing and nothing, huh?
Now I'm even more annoyed that I was forced to listen to that
Same
garbage.
here, dude. Jesus Christ. So that was
She
the other
looked
woman.
fabulous.
Although, Bob, to be fair, you could repurpose it
Yeah,
for
just
this.
run
so
back the same
yeah, you run
playbook,
it back.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I don't remember this in 2016.
It definitely worked last time.
It sure did.
The
So
real
8 years later,
the
you
real
could do
question
this.
is after she loses in November, is Lázaro Lopez getting another tattoo on his other thigh?
Oh my God, that'd be great if Kamala Harris. Is there a tweet though that we can really get?
There's
tattooed on?
going to be something. They're going to get cocky.
I
and
think you've
post
got
something.
to at this point. But yeah, everybody's asking the same thing about Beyonce on here. Like, Don Lemon started that all day long, and no idea, dude.
Fuck
And
that guy.
people, oh my God, now people are coming after Beyonce on Twitter saying, "Stop being lazy. Where the fuck were you, bitch?" Somebody says here. So that was a Democrat hoping she was going to show up there and didn't. You got Pink. I mean, what are you pissing in the wind about there? You
Pink,
know?
the singer?
Yes. Was there? Do you know another Pink?
I don't know what you're talking about. Code Pink? I don't know.
Bill, it's time to shut it down tonight.
No.
Maybe kill his microphone here altogether. Jesus
I'm enjoying.
Christ,
Look,
Bill.
these things are delicious.
I understand.
Yeah,
that.
don't make
There's about
delicious beverages and then give them to me and then chastise me.
Yeah, you're kind of victim blaming right now.
Yeah.
He's the
No.
victim of hard
Bill
AF
walked
seltzer.
in,
Bill's
dick,
a slut.
dick out, dick in his hand, and he goes, "You know what I'm going to do tonight? Every time they say Donald Trump, I'm going to take a drink." And
That's not what I said.
I go, "Bill, you're going to be fucking wasted tonight."
Let's be precise with our words. I
Sure.
said Venn diagrams, and you said Donald Trump, and I accepted your bid.
Because nobody,
No.
she can't say.
What we said was,
been
if
saying
it's
that
Donald
shit
Trump,
all the
what we
time.
said, if it was Donald Trump, you're going to die, and you said yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do it.
Now you're going to die.
So
sorry,
do you
Bill.
need to talk?
I'm grabbing 4 more of these before I go back to my hotel tonight.
I know you are. Bill.
I don't chill. These things are fucking delicious.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They are really good.
You're welcome.
No,
You're
I mean
welcome.
it's like putting a Jolly Rancher in your mouth and then passing freedom over it.
All right, so let's recap this here real quick. D'Anthony, will there be any bump out of this whatsoever? What do you think the general vibe was tonight?
There's got to be some. There has to be.
I agree.
The fact that
I
she
agree.
made it through the whole thing without saying something dumb. Yeah,
That was shocking in its own.
I understand that she's reading off a prompter, but we've seen her do that before, and she's not good at it. Maybe she's getting better at that specific thing.
I will say she also she talked about the military in a positive way. She didn't have to do that. Look, I don't believe she'll do anything to help us, but she did it, and then she stuck her neck out about Israel, which I fucking totally didn't expect.
Yeah, kind of a mistake. She's made some mistakes there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's got to be some bump. So far, today's Wednesday, Thursday. The convention started on Monday, and so far, she's gone in the wrong direction. Polling is going the. Usually, you get a 3 to 4 point bump, and usually it'll last for somewhere between 10 and 14 days after your convention, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be good for her though, because polling's for retarded people.
It is really dumb, but polling's one thing, but Vegas is another thing, and Vegas
They don't fuck around.
Like Trump's odds have gotten better, and hers have gotten worse over the last 3 days. Now we'll see what they look like tomorrow morning.
What's funny, though, is my friend tried to watch the live stream with us. First thing she gets served, it's an ad of Obama on our video.
Sure is.
Asking for donations.
Yep, sure is.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the same Google, by the way, because Google owns YouTube, that has blocked us in every fucking direction possible, but they'll serve up Democratic ads in front of all of our videos.
Yeah.
And that's been going on forever, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
But
But
on audio, we've been able to block it.
Yeah, I do think she gets a bit of a bump, and part of it also depends on what Trump does in response. And what CNN does too. So CNN's been pretty critical of the convention so far. They're the ones that originally ran the placard that said, This was Wednesday morning, so after Tuesday, so after the first 2 days. 137 mentions of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
The border was mentioned 6 times. I think the economy or the word inflation was mentioned 4 times, right?
None tonight.
None tonight, not once,
No.
right? So people notice that stuff, and they especially notice it when both ABC and CNN point it out, which are typically friendly to the left, right?
Yep.
They both, each one of those organizations have pointed that out, and I think that the bump is going to be minor, to be honest, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Trump will definitely respond to this.
100%, but
I just don't know how or what it's going to look like.
Or should he? So if you're looking at it right now, today is August 22nd. First debate is September 10th. You're 18 days away from that event. Maybe just meet her there and figure it out, because tonight she showed that she could read off a teleprompter. This is the longest I've ever heard her talk. It was 39 minutes, which was still
kind of cogent,
but still short.
Yeah.
But debate is 90 minutes.
What would have been
at
a good
minimum?
Length? Would have been a good length for her.
I think 60 to prove to the American public, like, hey, that's what it is. Like, and if I'm just going back to the Democratic Party, for example, Obama's obviously their biggest star. Like, it felt like he could talk forever, and everybody was all in. He was a great orator.
He was 44 minutes on his 2008 acceptance speech.
On 2008, what was he in 2012 or 2012?
Probably about the same, I would imagine. Like he wasn't, even at his States of the Union, he wasn't terribly long-winded.
And she is not.
But he's the difference is he's a great orator.
He
right?
is, yes. Always has
He
been.
was,
that Hawaiian accent really helped him.
I'm seeing 39 minutes and 40 minutes on the videos for the 2012 acceptance
And
speech
she doesn't
for
have
Obama.
an ounce of the charisma that Obama
Yeah, she has no. She's Rizless. entirely.
So, but with that being said,
Sans Riz.
how do you expect her in a debate now versus what you saw tonight?
She's gonna get. We've seen her in a debate with Mike Pence. She got fucking annihilated. We've seen her in several debates. We've seen her in the DNC debates in 2020, and Tulsi Gabbard annihilated her.
I remember the Tulsi Gabbard
She
one.
fucked her up.
I don't remember the Pence.
Yeah, with Pence, she had no policy answers at all. All she did was call Trump a racist, and then anytime Pence would interject, she would just, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, Mr. Vice President, excuse me. She would say it like over and over again.
And then go back clips of that.
And then she would go back to just saying fucking nonsense. So she's gonna, like, if Trump behaves
That's a key.
the way he did in the first hour of the Biden debate, she's in big fucking trouble. I mean, it's gonna, like, that'll be the campaign. Her campaign will crumble after that.
But the thing with that,
because donors aren't going to spend money on it. They're going to go look at the Senate races and the Congress races they can win and spend money there instead of on her.
The thing with the debate was, and look, I like Trump. The problem, the thing with that debate that helped him was they constrained him in a way that forced him to be disciplined. And they cut his microphone off, and he couldn't talk in between.
Yeah, so is
they're
ABC
not gonna make that,
gonna
They're
give
not
By the
going to
way,
make that mistake twice.
Trump Jr. said that as well, actually during the live feed of that. So are they not going to cut the mics in the ABC
I don't
debate
think
as well?
No, I think they learned their lesson because they constrained him, and it ended up serving him because it made him look much more measured. And I think they're going to look at that and say, we need to let this guy talk as much as possible, because more he's talking and saying shit that, like, pisses women off, the less Kamala has to talk.
So what
that's a good thing
what
for
do
us.
you think if he takes that and runs with it?
It's dangerous.
If he
needs to be
takes
disciplined.
what are you talking about?
If he doesn't stay disciplined because he doesn't.
That's what
I think that's a mistake, and I think he'd be in trouble.
So in the focus groups,
Yeah.
in the focus groups so far with independents, and read that for whatever it's worth, right? What does the word
12%
independent even mean these days in America? But in the focus groups with independents, some of the issues he's having, not non-policy wise, is seeming like a bully to women. Right?
Yeah, and that's going to hurt him if he
it
comes
could
off
with
that
white
way.
suburban women. I don't think it's going to affect black women that much, frankly, because they're pissed about the economy right now.
Black men too.
That first election, though, the debates with Biden where he was constantly talking over him and everything, if he just sat back and let Biden talk, he would have done much better.
I agree. And I think, me personally, I think he lost that first debate with Biden because of that. And now he's got to focus on what it's going to look like, the optics of it, of talking over a black woman. I'm going to use black in air quotes because we have no idea. But I think he's got to be cognizant of that. And if he gets caught up in it and keeps talking over her over and over again, it's going to look shitty for him. And we don't know if this is the only debate she's going to do.
It will be.
She's never agreed to anything past this. So, like, He's got to make sure this is measured and really fucking take his time all night and focus on policy.
Well, he brought Tulsi in to help with debate prep.
Right.
She's she's his debate.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
She's his debate coach right now, and don't be surprised if RFK doesn't join that team tomorrow.
Well,
like I think there's a very good chance that he's going to join that team tomorrow.
Look, my opinion's worth shit. I can just say what I saw and what I observed and how I thought about this, and I would say the same thing to general officers when I advise them. When you're speaking, stick to one or two issues and pound the fuck out of those issues, and don't allow yourself to go out into the abstract, and don't allow yourself to do the shit that pisses people off about Trump. Border, the economy, people's bank accounts, everything that you say and everything you respond to needs to go back to those things. And don't let them take you anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think with the guy who's moderating the debate, it's David Muir, who we've talked about on the show the last week and a half.
There's no way he's doing it by himself, though, right?
Yeah,
When's the last time we saw a presidential debate where there's only one person?
There's a woman with him. I just don't know who it is.
It's not Leslie Stahl or anything,
no, it's not.
right?
It's not. If you look it up, Bob, see who the woman is with him. But here's the thing. David Muir isn't a confrontational dude.
No, he's not.
And I would have expected it out of Jake Tapper on CNN when they did the debate.
And he was awesome.
Well, he was...
Him and Dana, what's her name?
Dana Bash.
Dana Bash.
They kept it on the up and up for the most part. I think Muir will do the same. If there is no mic cuts and all that other shit, he won't get involved in it either. So...
He just doesn't have the voice for that.
No.
He's got a fucking like baseball announcer voice.
Right.
Like a solo newsman. He's reading off a script. He's
he can look right down the barrel and give you the best teleprompter reads there is.
But maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he is good at that. He just doesn't do it. Who knows? I've never seen him do an actual interview before.
I haven't either.
So who knows?
It'll be interesting to see. But I agree with you. If he talks over her and cuts her off constantly, it's going to be a problem. And then
or it goes ad hominem.
Right. And stick to the policies. Like, you've already won, in my opinion. Like, you got everything you had from 2016 to 2020. Run off that and then force her to defend what would be her potential policies. And then that's where she's going to get buried.
I mean, I would start with the economy.
Yes.
Right. Start with the economy. Under Trump, from 2017 January to 2021 January, 8% total inflation. That's less than 3% a year, which is above average, right?
Yep.
The jobs lost all happened because of COVID. They're going to mention that. But like even with COVID, I still had a better inflation record than you did.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that happen?
Yep.
Right? You guys have the highest inflation record since fucking Vietnam, right, in this country. And it's growing still. You say that it's capped out at 3% right now. No, it's 3% more, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
That's what it
exactly.
really is. That's how inflation works. And anytime she tries to make any statement about money or any of this other bullshit or anything that she says, like inflation is 22% under you guys. It was 8% in 4 years under me. That's the fact. What he's talking about is this pivoting back to your focal point, right? Like whatever your bullet point is for that particular subject. No matter, and when you win on the policy, you can do this. No matter what she says, all the bloviating and blah 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 and this and that. It's like, okay, 22%, 8%.
Yep.
The end.
Yeah.
That's the end of that conversation. With the border, it's like, okay, cool. The border was shut down with us. We shut it down from the 7 Arab nations because they were fucking known terrorists coming into our country, and you called us racist. You called us xenophobic for it, right? You did all this shit, and on your watch, 500 people on the terror watch list have made their way into the United States. That's just the ones we know about. Right, so he wins on every issue. All he's got to do is pivot back to that point
and stay focused. Yeah. That's it. Whether he can do that or not, we'll see. Because if he would have just stuck to that in 2020 as well in that first debate, what are we even doing here at this point?
Well, I mean, let's not pretend that was a real election. You know? But,
No, not that. But I'm just saying the debate itself. I'm just simply framing it as a debate itself. Because you and I know Tulsi well. I'm sure she's in these debate preps with him saying, hey, you've got to be measured. You cannot talk over so-and-so and everything else.
My guess is...
She also buried Kamala. That was it.
Annihilated her.
My guess is
Tulsi.
My guess is Tulsi is role-playing Kamala right now.
She is.
That's how I would do it.
It's kind of hot.
Yeah. Well, to you, Bill, you know.
I'm just saying.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
a Tulsi fan.
You want to swap out a black with a white is what you want to do.
She's Hawaiian, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Moana.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ross called her Moana like 6 times when she was on the show last time.
She is, though. She is a real life
She sang
Moana.
the song a little bit. I could see her fucking She was getting into it.
She was into it.
She's great. I like her.
She's hilarious.
She's my kind of Democrat.
An ex-Democrat.
An ex-Democrat.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for getting that.
You know who isn't mine is Adam Kinzinger. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, he's a conservative Republican.
What was that?
I don't know.
What was that?
I'm not sure what it is and exactly he's conserving. Now, he was right, though. Republicans aren't conservative anymore. The Republican Party is not conservative in any way that you can fucking define the word conservative. They're not conservative. Donald Trump is pretty conservative in a lot of ways. In some ways, he's not. Spending money, he's not. He spends too much money.
That was his record last time.
Yeah, but most of the policy stuff specifically about security, America First, and all this stuff is pretty conservative. Yeah. Nothing that the broader Republican Party does. I mean, they presented the largest expansion of the federal government in history, plus 2 wars that cost $20 trillion. Like,
old marbly mouth.
Yeah.
So looking back at her speech tonight, if you're a Democrat, are you happy tonight?
Yeah, because I'm a mindless drone.
But let's face it, it was Biden before.
Yeah.
Everybody was nervous.
I mean,
on pins and
obviously
needles
they're
every
going to love
speech.
the energy,
Right?
Yeah.
Because she's a human in the world that is functioning and has autonomy.
50 years younger than him.
You're gonna feel better about that than you would have about Biden's speech.
For sure.
100%.
So what do you think the speech was? Like unremarkable?
No, I think it was she was stalling. That's what she was doing.
And she will continue
I've got to get 40 minutes of words out of my face so I can get off of this fucking
And
stage.
they will stall until they're behind in the polls. Like, they will continue to not do anything, address anything, say anything until it's obvious that they might lose.
But if you have the last 4 years of what you had, I don't know what the positive is. And I'm being totally truthful.
Well, that's
when
why
I
they're
say
not
this.
running on the positive. What they're running on is we can't go back to Trump.
Yeah, what they're running on is
that's the whole thing.
Can't go back to January 6th because they brought up January 6th tonight. What was the rest of it?
I don't even know.
But she said, hey, we can't go back.
It's the stock standard racist, xenophobic, abortion, blah, blah, blah.
Right. We're kind of like in the thick of it, right? Like, we're very in the know
We're too
every
online.
day. We're too online. We know everything that's happening. That speech is for people that don't really pay attention to politics but still vote.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So,
but they pay attention to their fucking wallet, bud. And she didn't mention inflation one goddamn time or any plan to solve that problem.
They do, but here's my point. I think if you're a Democrat and you watch this tonight, after watching and listening to 4 years of Biden mumble through shit and look off into the distance and shake hands, you're probably like, all right, well, fuck. At least we have a candidate tonight.
I mean, she's at least, like, she meanders and says dumb shit that doesn't make any sense all the time. But
she didn't tonight because she was on script.
She's not retarded. She can read a script, and she doesn't have to read it so fast because the drugs are coursing through her veins.
Right.
So that part, I mean, I guess at the base level, it projects some level of competence.
Is it drugs?
For Biden?
For Biden, yeah. No.
She's 60.
59 or 60.
She's 60 and she's
No, I'm just saying,
healthy.
like, I think sometimes she's drunk. She looks sometimes like she's...
Maybe, or she's got Parkinson's.
Right now.
No, I'm not. I'm on the way, but I'm not there.
Yeah, you're there. No, you're there.
He's a big boy.
But with
Don't-
her...
Don't underestimate them essentially being like, you know what? What if we just don't say anything and
That's
hope
what
that-
I'm saying.
and hope that-
I think
hope
that's been the entire
hope that
strategy.
A
Yes.
lack of
Yep.
noise.
Yes.
They want to contrast a lack of noise with a lot of noise.
Because if something...
She's running the ball. They're running the ball.
But if something is gone bad, yeah, it's like the Falcons. It's 28-3. You should have just ran the fucking ball there at that point.
The difference is there's no way to know if you're actually up or not right now. And based on Vegas's take, they're not. Right.
And then with the
as
news cycle...
as a matter of fact, Trump is now leading in Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina. He's leading in all these places.
Mm-hmm.
It's a toss-up still in Arizona and Michigan and Pennsylvania.
We're going to lose Michigan after tonight.
I don't-
pro-Israel and,
I don't know about that. We'll see. I don't think they're going to lose Michigan. I think it's going to be closer than they want it to be.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think if Gretchen Whitmer would have ran, it would have given them a better shot.
That would have been smarter, but you can't run two broads.
No, not that.
Her or Shapiro.
Oh, you mean instead of
what we talked about with Pelosi on fake news today,
Yeah.
where she wanted an open convention. I think if it was an open convention, the two final candidates would have been Josh Shapiro and Gretchen Whitmer. I don't think Kamala would have been anywhere near this.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket. And again, I've talked about this before, but I really don't think that the DNC wants Kamala Harris to win, because here's what happens if she wins. That wipes out all these other Democrats: Newsom, Shapiro, Whitmer, Kelly, everybody for fucking 8 years. because they're not going to run. She would be president for the next 4, technically, and they're not going to run against her as an incumbent, which means all those people wouldn't be able to run until 2032. That's not happening.
Right.
I just don't believe that's their plan.
And
I
the
really
Democrats
can't
have
believe
a deep bench over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And to be honest, like, Shapiro, pretty popular in Whitmer's not super popular outside of the cities. Shapiro's relatively popular throughout the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 60% approval rating.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe they didn't select him.
It's wild.
Because they need Pennsylvania.
I think he
biggest
said
state there is.
He said no. That's what I heard. He said no.
Really?
We'll see. I think he was a Jew, and they were like,
I think it was, he wrote some shit about being pro-Israel. He wrote some shit about being pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Well, he wrote some shit about Palestinians, so-called Palestinians, because that's not a thing because Palestine's not a real place. But anyways.
No, they're Bedouins.
Yeah.
He's also very anti-Netanyahu.
Yeah, which is a reasonable take to have, to be honest.
It is.
Fine.
To hate fucking Hamas and be anti-Netanyahu at the same time.
Yeah, they're not
That's my
mutually
position.
exclusive.
That's my position. Netanyahu's a cunt.
Yeah.
So
and didn't he try to destroy their own court system over there? Like,
yeah,
he was about to go to jail.
He was trying to essentially do what Democrats want to do here, which is neuter one of the branches of government. So he would he was going to give the executive branch power over the judicial branch, basically.
And that's something I think all Republicans agree with. Where you're like, okay, cool, man. Like, yeah, I understand it. We hate him too, and you want Israel to be free. Like, all right.
Yeah.
But to put a bow on what we were saying before, they are going to continue to not focus on policy and say Trump, orange man, bad, as long as they can. If that will take them all the way to November, they'll do it.
We're 74 days away.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
And I think that's the strategy. The only problem is September 10th.
I don't think it's
That's
going
the
to work
last-
after the debate. She's gonna. Somebody's
I think it
gonna.
depends on
Somebody is going to ask her a question. They're gonna like
Holy shit, she's dumb.
You have presided over the largest inflationary period in 40 years in this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to stop it? And she's going to say some dumb shit. And then Trump's like, all right, Mr. President, you've got 2 minutes to respond. And he goes, well, if you recall, under me, total inflation was 8% over 4 years, which is below the average rate. In all 4 years, including my last one, where COVID was fucking up the country, right? So I'm better than you. And I've got the proof. Here are the receipts right here. And that's literally all he has to say.
I think it would also benefit him to let her talk as much as possible, the same way you did Biden in that first debate, where the moderator came back. It was Jake Tapper who came back, and he goes, Mr. President, you're only 40 seconds in. You still have
Another minute,
in 80 seconds. And it was just like, great. I think it would benefit Trump to just keep letting her talk and then flail on these points because she has been in there for the last 4 years. All the things she did talk about tonight, she could correct. She could correct it tomorrow with some of them. You want to shut down the border tomorrow, you can do it. You can sign that EO tomorrow and shut it down.
Yeah, but you can't do that because it shows you could have all the time, right?
Right.
Like you just can't do that move.
If I were in debate prep with Trump, which I'm not, maybe Tulsi's listening, there's a good chance she is. When I was in the military, we do this prisoner of war training where, I did this high-risk officers course where they'd say, when you're being interrogated by a hostile government, no matter what question they ask, drive it back to, I'm an innocent American, caught up in a mess here, and I need return to American control. Like every answer needs to be that. Mm-hmm. And that's what Trump needs to do with this debate is no matter what the question is, if they ask him about the price of rice in China, it needs to go back to people's paychecks and the border and the economy. He needs to have a cogent way to bring it all back to there and be disciplined. And that's my biggest worry, as much as I love the man and I think he's hilarious.
Discipline.
Is being disciplined and driving it back to the things that matter.
He'll definitely need it. He'll need the discipline because, if she's going to bring up, at some point they're going to ask her about his budget plan. This is how David Muir will do it because it's ABC News and they're liberal. President Trump has said that he wants to create a 30% tariff on all imports. What do you think about that, Mrs. Vice President? And she's going to have $3,900 for every blah. And what Trump just very calmly say, that's $3,900 per family. That's how much we think it's going to cost. That's how much economists think it's going to cost. It's going to save them $10,000 per year because that's what we're going to do by eliminating fucking income tax, which was unconstitutional in the first place.
Yeah.
Applause.
I'd lose my mind if he said
right?
that.
I mean, that's the plan. His plan is to eliminate the income tax and replace it with a 30% tariff on imported goods. That's his plan. Pretty good fucking plan.
It'd be great, but we'll see if he sticks to it.
By the way, taxing on imports, on tariffs on imports have sustained this country for over and over throughout American history without having to reach into the wallets of middle class.
But also Biden extended a lot of the tariffs that Trump put into place while he was in office because he had to recognize their efficacy. He couldn't, it wasn't a thing that he could do away with because he knew the bottom line.
And Trump will also flip that into the auto workers thing.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a very short story. You can tell it really quick, and it can be part of that 2-minute reply. It's like, I went down there and I told these auto manufacturers they moved those manufacturing jobs to Mexico that we're going to put a fucking 60% tariff on them. Good luck selling them in America, bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Last question for you guys before we get out of here tonight, because we got an early show tomorrow. There is a rumor that RFK potentially could drop out tomorrow. We'll do a show for that. That'll be our Sunday show, and we'll play that live in the show as we go tomorrow. Wanted to ask you guys, does the VP debate matter anymore? Do people even give a shit about Walz or Vance at this point? Or is it just the two of them?
I don't think the VP debate has ever mattered. Otherwise, George H.W. Bush never would have been elected in the first place because Dan Quayle is a fucking mongoloid.
Yeah.
Do you remember him debating? It was not great.
I wasn't born yet, but yeah.
Well, you were 60 years old at that point, and you're only
nowhere
getting
near
older.
it. Nowhere near it. But, yeah.
There's some famous ones. I think was it John Edwards bringing up Dick Cheney's gay daughter in the 2004 ones. Yeah. There's obviously Admiral Stockdale, that poor guy who ran with.
Probably the most famous one featured Dan Quayle. When, even though Bush won the election, Quayle kind of brought up being like JFK a little bit, being young or something like that.
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Senator, I know
JFK.
Jack Kennedy. You're no Jack Kennedy."
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the most famous moment in any debate.
Yeah. What year was that?
That was 88.
Yes.
88. Okay.
Yeah, and I think look, Dukakis was not going to win, so it didn't matter. But that's the thing. I don't think the VP matters that much. We've talked about this before. We looked through them for like 40 fucking years of presidencies. When has the VP ever mattered? They've never delivered their home state.
Yeah.
It wasn't already a red or blue state, right? It just never happens. No, it's not relevant at all.
I think the only thing a VP can do is hurt you. They can never really help you. They can just kind of maintain a status quo, and you can keep things business as usual. Where a VP can be impactful as they can ruin things for you.
They just have to be competent and somewhat trustworthy, right?
Yeah, go along.
Like people like Pence, they don't really anymore, but people like Pence at the time because he's just a regular fucking dude. He's just an old white dude.
But
right?
I also saw Pence's function, and what I thought was genius about Pence's function was, or what I thought was genius about the pick was, I knew a lot of people in North Dakota, where I'm from, and the Midwest who are like fundamentalist Christians. And they were worried about Trump and lack of morality or the way he was with women
the
in the past.
evangelicals.
And then they saw Pence and they thought, oh, he's a Christian, and if he's going to be advising Trump, then that makes me feel better. But again, it didn't move anything.
No, I mean, look, I
assuages.
hated the pick at the time. I hated him, and
he's turned out to be worse than we thought.
Well, look, when you're calling your wife mother, like that was a fucking warning sign from 2015. Like I was all good on that. I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
So
I think he probably has better sex than you can imagine.
Oh my God! There's not
like no way.
I gotta be honest, Bob. There's not a whole lot of people on Earth that I don't want to think about having sex, but he's right at the top. It's him and
He's got a fly on his head while he does it.
It's him and Lizzo
Real
at the top of that
close.
list. Although
Yeah.
Lizzo's in the gym now. I don't know if you saw that.
I've not.
She's like, I'm tired of all the hate, blah blah blah. So she was like fucking working
Is she on that
the gym.
pill or whatever?
She's
That
definitely on
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Ozempic, yeah.
I guarantee you, Pence is just fully drained at the end. I mean, he just gets his nut like
You
nobody's
think his
business.
Why are you
ball
saying
He's
sack
got a
is
big
drained
he's
at
got
the
a
end of
big
the night?
vein popping out in the side of his
my
neck,
God,
dude.
dude! Nobody comes like Mike
What
Pence.
compels someone?
Big comes, dude.
What compels someone to say that? Why would you say that?
Oh, Bob's a liberal. That's
Because
why.
I know it's
No,
true.
he knows that Mike Pence bones, dude.
You ain't look. Only a freak is calling his wife mother. All right,
Yeah.
those two are getting done.
There's
I think
probably
he was
some
on
weird
the
shit going
floor.
on.
I think there's some
dominatrix
Freudian shit behind that.
I think there was some leather involved.
Leather, some feces, maybe.
Yep.
Probably human.
Scat porn.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they both wore sheets with holes.
I think he was getting shit on. He
Wait,
was
you're talking
getting shit
about
on
Klan
her.
or Jews fucking through sheets?
Yeah. What do
Like
you
the Jew thing.
Eye
Yeah.
holes.
Either
Okay.
way,
Either way, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, same here.
I'm in it.
tell
I'm
you
in.
that guy loads.
Who is the? Before we get out of here, just bring up a
Jesus,
picture
Mary
of us.
Joseph.
What? Mike Pence's loads need to be talked about, for Christ's sakes. That's more
Hey,
important than everything we
Mike-
saw tonight.
That's going to be my
fantasy.
fantasy. That's my fantasy
what's
football
crazy?
team.
Mike Pence's
loads.
No, that was the name of my band in high school.
Was it your
Yeah, Mike
garage
Pence's
band?
loads.
Pull up his wife. I've never seen his wife actually. Pull her up. We'll end the show
Hold
with
on.
Mike
I've
Pence's
never
wife.
seen her either.
What if
I
she's just
think
like a fat ass Latinx?
She looks like a
smoke show or
second grade
something?
teacher.
Karen Pence.
Oh,
Karen.
no.
Her name's Karen.
Show that photo, Bob. Second from the left, up top. Don't fuck us. Don't fuck the crowd. Thank you. Yep. Show this one.
Is her name Karen?
There's no way that he's just fucking.
I don't know. She looks pretty happy.
loads.
The entire bedroom is as white as his fucking head, dude.
Oh God, dude!
Run a black light through that
Just
thing.
No way.
It looks like outer
Full body.
space.
Yeah, full body. Full body. This has got to be Grimace here, right? What? I've never seen a full body shot of her. I didn't even know what her head.
Oh, like
looks
one of those little clown things that has sand at the bottom where you
Yes,
can punch it and it
where
comes back
just
up.
kinda
Yeah.
Trolls out.
No, she
there.
looks all right. She's an old lady.
Look at those.
She's got
sausage.
some heavies. She's got some heavies
Yeah,
on her.
those
She's a
arms.
fat ass.
She's just an old lady.
Maybe Pence is fucking dropping.
Here's what we're
going
gonna do. We're gonna get some cameras installed in Mike Pence's house
And really
and watch these people bone.
I could help you with that.
It's onlyfans.com/Mike Pence or Veep.
Oh, I would love it.
Veep.
Oh, mama,
go enlarge that. Can I see that?
hear you.
Enlarge that.
Yeah, let's
Enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance.
Whoa, I've
Zoom in,
never
enhance.
seen him without
Enhance.
gray hair.
Yeah, Pence is just dropping good girl here and there.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Dude. Yeah, she was pretty hot.
All
back
right,
then, yeah.
look at him.
Hey,
too.
yeah. I mean, she's not bad.
Absolutely, this man is distributing.
How many kids do they have?
Yeah, do they have
12?
If they've got more than two, they drop loads together. 2 is when you cut it off because you're responsible. 3 is
No,
just like, hey, we're dropping loads.
4, and I'd have more, but my wife cut me off.
Really?
She said no more.
He has 3.
Okay, so yeah, he's dropping loads.
How many abortions though?
No.
12.
No. Under God, indivisible.
Liberty and justice.
He's not doing it. Yeah.
But abortions are mostly Latinx and black women or white Christian women. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a
motherfucker.
thing?
Yes.
White Christian women?
Yes. They get abortions and then they go to anti-abortion rallies right after with the blood still fucking
It's
pumping.
called confession, dude. You can
Sure
do
is.
whatever you
Yeah,
want.
it sure is.
Don't eat meat on Fridays unless you want to.
You're going to make me Google this tonight? Is that a stat?
Oh no, I just made that up.
Oh,
I know a bunch of.
You never know if Dan's dropping knowledge or if he's fucking with your insides.
Exactly.
Bill, what's towards the end of the night?
I'm good at this. That's what you mean. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no,
towards the
yeah.
end of the night.
I know a half dozen women that I went to church with who got abortions.
Yeah.
Like their parents don't want them having some poor dude's kid.
I sure don't.
That's not going to happen, dude.
And it was Dan's.
It's like-
So each one of them
Oh,
was just
no.
like, hey, dude, we got to get
If
this.
somebody aborted my kid, I would fucking peel their skin off of their body. And if their fucking parents made them do it, I'd kill them too.
Yes. He says that while he's holding a Montana knife.
Yeah, from Josh Smith.
Big
at that
dick.
guy.
Josh
Code
Smith.
DV10 for 10% off, dude. We appreciate you tuning in.
Wait, Nico the
kids.
Greco says abortions are fiery but mostly peaceful.
Oh, boy.
I don't think they should be fiery. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
You don't need a
You're-
settling torch
Unless
to fucking.
you got to put fire on the poker. Like, it depends on what you're doing. There.
It's a coat
Sterilize
hanger.
it? Yeah.
No, I think they just use
sterilize
scissors in the back of the head
it? Okay. Okay.
for those late terms.
Yeah.
Right.
We make sure the baby's calm. We place them on the table.
Make it warm.
We make them feel warm. They feel good.
Man.
That was the creepiest interview.
That
of all
was
time.
the craziest shit I've ever
He
heard.
just did
in my
that shit
life.
on like NPR. What the fuck?
Normal day.
Hey, you guys want to talk about exactly how an abortion works?
My God, dude.
I'll
I mean,
fucking
we
go
went
into
through
great
it,
detail.
Yeah. The baby was 9 years old. Very warm.
Post birth
warm.
abortion.
I don't know
It's
if
like, holy
Sarah's
shit.
still watching, but if she is, she hates us right now.
No, she's telling. She's blowing my phone up. I'm sure of it.
Make fun of Danica for a few minutes because she
Oh,
might be in
Danica girl fucking with this hose man. So
Danica the murderer.
Danica.
You guys
used to
remember her
fucking
from Notre
murder,
Dame
yeah.
show?
There are
last
two
year.
things that I'll
Notre
never
Dame murder.
forget about the Drinking Bros podcast for as long as I live. The first one is that.
Sure.
And the second one is, and I'm just going to say one word, then I want you to take it from here.
Oh, it's the N-word?
Leonardo.
Leonardo. Oh, Jingle Cool. That's how Leonardo Carpenter. That's how he has sex. As Gilbert Grape.
As Gilbert Grape.
As Gilbert Grape. That's the only way he can come.
Oh, that's amazing.
On top. And
If you don't
Mama.
think that's funny, you've got problems.
Mama.
Jingle Cool. If you haven't heard the Jingle Come episode, just type that out I think it's 9 U's and come, though, in that episode. And check that out. Gare Bear, we'll close it out with you. You got Street Gonzo at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Are you guys on time? I know you're editing.
We're going to be on time. We just wrapped up the edit.
There you go.
I'm fucking boosted up. I'm cutting clips. Go watch the show. I'm going to blow my brains out. That's all I got.
There it
End
is.
the show.
Street Gonzo, 5 p.m. tomorrow, Central Time. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Podcast. Good.